Hey, everybody! The fuck is up?
Hi.
Oh, I definitely need to mute the browser source on my computer because hearing my own voice is awful.
Shocking. Yeah, been there.
What's up, everybody? Welcome
Yes.
to the
Hello.
Green Bean. Love it. Love
That's a great name.
the freaking emo. Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome.
Love the hype.
This is
Thank
the
you so
Double-D
much.
Estrogen Power Hour.
It's
For those
true.
of you that don't know, I am Danger. This is me. Oh, and we are here to entertain you for the next so on set of hours. We do want to thank Dave Levels Up for that awesome raid prior to us going live.
Thank you,
For
Dave.
those of you that don't know, he is our producer, hence why he rated us when we weren't live yet. So, but we thank you for sticking around. You're not trash. You're not trash. Don't you dare
I
talk
mean,
about yourself like that.
if that is your
Unless
name,
you're a trash panda,
that's great.
and then
Yeah,
we like them. But nice to
we're
meet
all
you
for the
too.
trash panda.
Glad you got dragged by Dave. Dave is an awesome person, most of the time at least. Just don't play D&D with him. I learned that lesson the hard way. No, I'm kidding. Dave is
You mean it in the lightest,
in the
gentlest
latest, of
context. You know what?
course, love
I
it.
like that. I appreciate that.
That is good. Okay, so
Yeah.
you then sound like you fit in with us because I do not tolerate people being hard on themselves. I'm allowed to be hard on myself, but he yells at me
So
when I
let's have a talk about that.
no, let's just skip right past
Let's
that.
not.
But welcome in. We apologize again for not being around last week. My David,
No.
those of you that don't know too, Dave and I are in a relationship together, hence the
I'm gonna block him from the
advances.
channel.
Good,
Not that I have the
good, good,
ability
good.
to,
I'm
but
right there with you, Yeen Bean. I don't know, enigmatic Yeen Bean. I don't know what to call you. I like Bean. Well, we have
well,
a Bean
I
friend. We'll
mean,
call you Yeen.
they did
Um,
introduce
for,
themselves as trash, so I think that that's
oh, we could just call you
agreement for us to
trash.
call them trash.
I mean, hi trash.
Ian or Bean.
Eat or
No,
bean
that
work.
works. That
Perfect.
makes sense. I just have
I
a laugh
promise there is a
because
format or something to this
well,
show.
so because my screen name, as you can see on the screen, is dbag, and so whenever I pop
Mhm.
into other streamers' chats, especially the ones that don't know me and even some of the ones that do, they're like, "I just have a problem calling you dbag because it sounds so mean." And I'm like, "I put it as my username,
Right, which is
so, like,
true,
you
which
can
is
do
fair.
it."
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you did definitely know what you were getting yourself into, but
Yeah.
you're also so far from a D-bag that it's hard to call you D-bag.
I mean, I disagree with that, generally
And call me
speaking.
Fox. Fair, Yeen. Very fair.
Okay. You know what?
We're just gonna leave that one right there.
I
No. So
appreciate it.
I happened to be clearing notifications for my phone, and this came up, and I decided seconds before we started that I'm going to share this with you all. And the lead-in into it is here are 15 reasons why you should own your own home. LOL. Dear residents, due to the recent actions of a specific tenant, we have been forced to update our community rules. Please find these new rules below.
Oh god.
Number one, no trash bags placed outside your door. Easy enough for an apartment building. Do you live in an apartment, right? So these
Yeah.
are probably fair. No loud music after 10 p.m. Fair,
I wish people would listen to that, yeah.
right? No yodeling at any time.
At any time.
Okay.
Okay.
At any time. None. Not never, not
No.
once can you
Okay.
yodel in an apartment. Do not feed the squirrels nachos. Specifically.
Nachos.
Nachos.
This is
Do not
100%
change
because of a
this
specific tenant.
right? Oh yeah, 100%. Do not change the sign for the fitness center so it reads fatness center.
That's just funny.
Do not pull out Yu-Gi-Oh cards and threaten to send residents to the Shadow Realm.
Okay.
Do not climb over other people's balconies while drunkenly yelling, "I am Spider-Man."
Fair. That is how
Honestly,
you
I'd
get
welcome
shot.
it. Yeah, true, to be fair.
To be
Um,
fair. If someone climbed over my balcony right now yelling, "I am Spider-Man," I don't own a gun, but I'd find one rapidly.
I'll get you one of those rubber band ones where it just
Oh my
rubber
God.
bands at people.
I have like the little ones that shoot like the sticky tip darts, like the ones that in the
Yes.
windows and
Yeah,
stuff.
the
I have
Nerf
one of
gun things.
those. Yeah.
Phenomenal. This is on all caps. No zip lines. To
I
where
need
from where? I
more.
think that
Right.
needs
Can I do
more
a zip line in my own
context, I think.
apartment? Because that's my apartment. That's my
Right.
business.
Right. Like,
But
could
like
I
through
put
the
one for my
courtyard,
dog to go to the
agreed.
dog run so he could go potty and then just zip line his ass back? That would be fantastic,
That would
right?
be so funny.
This is fantastic. Do not place rent checks in a bear trap outside of the rental office.
I mean, they don't
I
do
mean,
enough for the rent we pay them, so I think adding a little Hunger Games scenario to it.
on that note, also, do not make rent checks out to you greedy motherfuckers.
If I could, I would.
Right? Another one, all caps, do not yell at the moon.
But
Again,
that's the
I need a
most fun
story,
activity.
right? Do not enter the laundry room in a luchador mask and attempt to wrestle other residents.
Amazing.
No
Thank you, Dave.
trick-or-treating unless you are a kid and it is Halloween.
See, that's bullshit. I'm staunchly against that.
Right? But like
Adults should trick or
trick-or-treating on
treat
not
too.
Halloween
Okay, on not
might get
Halloween,
annoying. Like,
fair.
right.
Fair.
But
But if it
like,
is
I think
Halloween,
everybody should be
adults
able
can
to trick or treat.
treat.
Right. When my
Come on
son was
now.
little, the best trick-or-treating times were like when, they'd give the kids candy and like a couple of the neighborhood families would give out the little shooters of alcohol
Okay.
for the
Yeah, little
parents.
airplane bottles. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Or give you like a, spiced apple cider or something when it was really cold out. Do not yell order up and throw hot dogs at people as they walk past your window. Why? Don't tell me how to live my life.
That's
You are
so
not my real dad.
funny.
And lastly, do not attach basketball hoops above resident doors. Knock and then dunk on them when they answer.
Oh
Moving
my
forward,
God.
failure to abide by these rules will be grounds for an eviction. Thank you, management.
So this was
First of all,
100% someone
dude
who
living
did
his
all these things, and then whenever management complained, he'd be like, "Well, it's not specifically in the terms of the lease, so who says I
100%,
can't?"
100%. Um,
That's so fucking funny.
yeah,
Some of these I don't mind. If you wanna yell at the moon, yell at the moon. Just do it,
right,
before quiet hours.
right, yeah. Preferably don't do it at 3 a.m. Though at 3 a.m. I get it. I get
Understand.
the
I get
need
the
for it,
too. Absolutely.
right? Um,
Oh my God, that is
but
so funny.
that was too funny to not share. So thank you for bearing
Yeah,
with me. But yeah,
amazing.
like that popped up on my Facebook, which is why I'm still on Facebook. Let's be
Yeah,
honest. I,
that's
I
fair.
like one of my favorite group. Well, I'm a part of a group called Anything's a Dildo if you're brave enough.
I know of an
In which
entire
I found a
TikTok
picture.
account that would be like,
Yeah,
"No."
yeah. My favorite one. I actually screenshot it to like share in our Discord, and I never did. But there's a wrought iron dildo.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Why? Who knows?
I'm gonna pass on that.
The other ones, for anybody over 30, I'm a dinosaur. Please explain these things to me. And it's, actual. No amount of bravery can save you from a cactus. That is a life lesson
Agreed.
right there. 100%. I feel like that needs to be one of our quotes. We may steal that. Is that if that's okay with you? Because that is fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, and hopefully not a
Also,
lesson that you personally learned.
yeah, hopefully not. I hope not.
Yeah.
But if you did, hopefully it only took one time for you to learn
Yeah.
it and you didn't repeat offend before you learned said lesson.
Yeah,
Like
that would be
after
the
the first
important
time, you're
bit.
like, well, maybe it was a one-off issue, and then
They thought it wasn't real. Okay.
yeah,
A little bit
yeah.
more understandable. They thought it was a plushie.
I love
I've heard
that.
that before.
Bravery
Yeah,
is not
that's
a lack
great.
of fear, but I love it. Phenomenal. But anyway, as I was saying before, shenanigans started to. I do apologize for missing last week. Again, we've missed a lot this week. Most of it's because of like my health, migraines, allergies.
Yeah.
Things have just been kind of hell. But
Yeah.
hopefully, we are on the up and up. Usually fall, like as the seasons change, my allergies get worse, but like the cooler weather definitely helps me personally feel better. So
Yeah.
hopefully we won't miss as many.
And I've just had lots of business stuff,
Yeah,
which
you've been
is
busy
never fucking
adulting
ending.
this past summer,
You know, I really
doing grown
have.
up big girl things.
I need a vacation, which I am getting one, which is why we won't be here next week,
Right,
is
right.
because of a vacation, which is nice. I would love to own my own home, but I can't afford one. Listen, I feel that so much. 2 bedrooms
Big
in my
same.
area are going for $250,000 at least, and I wouldn't exactly call Ohio a pleasant market. Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
live right next to the government, and so, at a one-bedroom apartment, I'm looking at, like, $1,600 in rent for a
yeah,
one-bedroom.
yeah.
And if I want a house,
I don't even know if you
mine
can
is
like find them for
$750,000 for a
sale.
two-bedroom,
Right.
so it's insane.
Um, which like if I ever if I win the lottery and can afford to buy this house for my grandma, it's about that in price, but we also have three
Yeah.
and a half acres of
Well,
land,
there you go.
and the land
Yeah,
is well worth it.
I
Also,
dream about
thank you,
winning the
Dave, for that
lottery.
resub.
Yeah, thank you. Usually sometimes
Hey,
bad,
now that's
sometimes
the way
good
to
hits.
go. As long as
If you can
everything
swing it.
can stay like cool enough, and with the right people,
Mhm.
you can balance that out. But sometimes you get into it, and once you cross that line, sometimes it's hard to go back. But
Yeah. And sometimes you
hopefully
just get weirdos,
everything
you
works out.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, thank you again
Well,
for joining us.
yeah.
Hey, you
Thank
know
you,
what
thank
though?
you.
That's a great balance. And that's the thing. I mean, like I said, I live with my grandma right now, so I have an 80-year-old roommate, but like it works for us right now.
Yeah.
She needs somebody that can help take care of the land in the house, and I need to not pay rent. So just kidding, I do pay a little bit, but like it
Hey.
works out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wish I had someone who could do all of my chores for me.
right.
But then I'd have to deal with a person, so
Yeah. Right.
we'll see.
Yeah. I love my glasses.
Oh, that is.
Um,
Can
Somebody
you
has to
see
clean.
through
They're
it?
glad that I'm in. Kind of. It's very dark tinted. And then
Yeah,
the little squares kind of get in the way, but I can read enough. Dave gave me
amazing.
these. They're my favorite. I call them my da 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 glasses,
Did he give it
or
to
my
you from the
floodlight glasses.
bag of glasses that he has, the random just box
No,
full?
he bought them specifically for. No, yes, they came from the random bag of glasses and hats and costume stuff he has.
I love it.
My ADD
That's
is
amazing.
strong right now, guys. Sorry. Also,
Oh,
I lost
girl, I
one,
feel
but look,
ya.
I have cute little Halloween nails. So I gotta wait for
Cute.
my thing to catch up. So it says trick or treat, orange, little ghosty boy, white, and then this one's a mummy.
Adorable. I just
And I lost
went
one on that finger.
with the basic black, but it has, like, a
I have
blue
black for
shimmer
my
to it,
toes. Ooh, very pretty.
so it's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I bought. I haven't
Shimmer,
used it
shimmer.
yet, but it's this brand that I had never
Nice.
seen before. But it's a black, black, black.
Yeah. Definitely, although I did realize after I painted them again, they're like this black with blue sparkle,
Mm-hmm.
deep, shifty shit. I have a wedding to go to this weekend that I have to do a reading at, and so I don't know why I painted my nails such a dark color for, like, a very joyous event, but
What
I
color is
love
your
dark colored
dress?
nails.
I do too.
It is like uh, it's a light green.
Okay, black might work with that.
Yeah, maybe.
Could
We'll
probably
see.
get away with it.
I'll probably repaint my nails, um,
Yeah,
you know, why not? And I'll probably still paint them something dark, to be honest,
yeah.
but it'll just be not black. And then we'll call that a win. So, that's where we're at with that.
Right on.
Yeah,
Well, should we get into some Am I the Assholes?
let's get into it.
All
Are you
right.
starting or am I?
I think it's my turn to start.
Okay,
Let
read it
me.
to me.
Oh wait, I know which one I want to start. Where'd that one go?
Pick a good one.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my brother-in-law I didn't know you needed a dick to drive a truck?
I
I
love it.
purely picked this one because of
The
the
name it
title.
alone. Yeah,
I'll
which is
keep
fair.
this really short. My brother-in-law, my sister's husband, has a truck. My husband and I were moving some furniture. About a week ago, we asked if he could help us or let us borrow the truck to move it. He said sure, and I went to pick up the truck yesterday. I get there and he asked where my husband was. I told him he was at home since he and a friend were moving stuff into the driveway. I was heading over to the truck, and then he told me he can't give me the keys. I already want to punch this dude in the
Oh
throat.
God.
I asked him why, and he tells me I can't handle it. I asked if he was joking, and he just reiterated that I can't handle the truck. I told him I didn't know that I needed a dick to drive a truck, and I left. I informed my husband on the situation, and it has spread. He called me pissed, and we got into a big argument. What?
I guess the husband called her
Yeah,
pissed.
yeah. He called
Was
me
pissed
pissed,
when you
got
called
into a
her.
big.
Yeah.
He clearly thinks I'm the jerk since it's his truck. Okay, so I think brother-in-law has spread it out. Brother-in-law called her pissed. They got into an argument. He clearly thinks I'm a jerk since it's his truck. My sister is on his side, so I'm doubting myself. Also, I am a good driver. I haven't had any crashes or tickets.
And they're just moving it to a different parking spot, right?
No, like they're gonna borrow it to move stuff, but like she just happened to be
Oh.
the one to go pick up the truck without her husband there. And he wouldn't give her the keys because she can't handle it.
Unless your
Yeah,
truck is
either
like
way, a
it
very
gets
bad
stuck,
joke. Yeah.
like it's a manual and it gets stuck and it has
Right.
like a tricky shifter or something, then
Right.
like,
Right.
okay, fine. But if it's just a normal fucking truck, then like
Yeah. It's probably like a diesel big ass truck or something, but like still. My husband
yeah.
was pissed. He's on my side. I'm just surprised by my sister. It says, ah, I'm going to see if they have any other affections. That I've driven larger vehicles before. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's a U-Haul truck, you know what I mean? Right, he could have said
Right.
instead, "It's a
Ian, I
manual,
agree
are
with
you up
that.
for it?" Or instead of saying the rude remark
Yeah.
or
Or bad
bad
joke.
joke.
Yeah. I don't think
It
he was
seems like
even
if
joking. I
you're
think
pissed, yeah,
yeah, he was legitimately like, no, it's a big truck. You can't handle it. Unless she's
yeah.
like 3 feet tall, which still, you don't
I
need to say
mean,
it
get a
like that.
booster seat, yeah, but, like,
Right.
still.
But like, I mean, it's no different than like pulling a trailer,
Right.
and pulling a trailer is arguably harder. Like,
Yeah. Big trucks
interesting.
aren't that bad.
Yeah. Rosie the Riveter, someone says.
I love it.
It's just crass. It wasn't tactful. It could have been a funny joke, but I get the feeling we won't be the number. Well, yeah, no, I agree. I
Yeah,
don't think it was meant to be a joke whatsoever.
no.
And don't like. There's no need to say it the way that he did. You know,
Right.
somebody goes, maybe your sister has a dick. Then somebody goes, oh, his sister definitely has a dick. Her husband.
Mm, fair point.
But yeah, like
Yeah,
it. There's no need. There's no need for that. Like, like you guys said, if it is a manual and maybe OP isn't familiar driving it, that's a whole
right.
different conversation.
Yeah,
But don't just be, yeah, rude,
yeah,
fucking dickhead. Anyway, what's
yeah.
your first one?
Um, I don't know, I have so many. This one's, like, really short. Nonverbals say
Okay.
butthole, that's funny.
I
Um,
love it.
so this one's really short, I just think it's funny, and I wanna give my 2 cents on it. So, am I the asshole for not asking my wife if she wanted McDonald's? That's the
So,
title.
yeah,
So
I
settle an
didn't this
argument.
one, but I saw it there.
Yeah. I, 29 male, and my wife, 29 female, are in the middle of a cross country move. As such, we are stopping at lots of gas stations for fuel and food and drink. Today, we stopped at a combo gas station McDonald's. While my wife was filling up the car, we went to go use the bathroom and grab a snack. I asked her, "Do you want anything?" To which we responded, "No." I ended up buying a sausage egg McMuffin from the McDonald's because why not? As we left the station and she saw my McMuffin, she angrily declared that I should have specifically asked if she wanted anything from McDonald's. I believe that when I posed the initial question, that the entire facility of food and beverages were included in that ask, but she believes I should have specified. She is now angry and this car ride sucks. Am I the asshole?
No, you're not the asshole. I mean, could you have been more
Nope, you're the
specific?
asshole.
Yes.
I'm gonna
No.
disagree. No,
No.
listen, always, if I tell you, "No, I don't want food," always get me food anyway. Just
Well,
always
wait,
do it.
that's a different thing. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
That's a different because that just happens to be breaking the girlfriend wife code.
Yeah.
If I say I'm not hungry, get me a snack, especially on a road trip. Just always give me a snack.
Right, just
If you're
always give
getting
me a
snacks
snack.
anyway.
Yeah.
And that makes you high maintenance as fuck. Yeah,
That's fine.
basically. But you can definitely be that person.
Yeah.
Could he have said, "Hey, I think I might get something from McDonald's"? Would that have been more specific and probably changed her mind? Yeah. How about she get off her ass and go in with you though? Like,
No, absolutely. I don't think that either one of them should actually be mad at each other, but 100%, if you come out with McDonald's, I get to give you shit for it.
oh yeah, but I don't
Those
think
are
she's
just the
giving him
rules.
shit for it.
She's
That's
not.
my
So
thing.
it does say, "Update, we are having a
Yeah.
great time reading these replies. Thanks for entertaining us on the
Good.
road." So they're not actually in a
Good.
fight. This
Got
was
it.
more of like a
Okay.
jokey, which is the reason why I came in, I had read this before, and so I came in being like, "No, get her the fucking McDonald's."
Okay.
Because she's
Got
not
it.
actually upset with him. It didn't actually ruin the road trip. My ex is going, "You choose." Anytime food was questioned, always drove me insane. Even if we have different ideas, I get so tired of being the one to pick. Like, can you just express something you want instead of hinging everything on appeasing me? Listen, I've been in that position because I'm
So
indecisive as fuck. I don't know
yeah.
what I
Here's my
want
recommendation
at
for
any
that though.
point. Yeah, I have recommendations too. Go for it.
Okay. So when my sister got married, I gave her like a little jar and on a bunch of like tongue depressors, I with paint marker wrote all of the different restaurants like local to them. No, it wasn't when they well, yeah, I guess it was kind of when they got
Yeah.
married, like bridal shower or whatever. They had already bought their house, so I knew the city. So they can, when they don't know, they just pick out a tongue depressor and they go, "Oh, you want to eat here?" No, okay. Pick out another one. Like it takes the argument out back and forth.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you might have to pick a couple before you both decide on it. But like I hate like I draw a blank. Like if Dave looks at me and
Right.
goes, "Hey, where do you want to eat tonight?" I draw a fucking blank.
Yeah.
And I
I do
hate
too.
being the one to pick because I hate being like, what if that's not what he really wants? I hate putting that pressure on myself. Um,
Yeah.
but deep down I know he doesn't fucking care either. Like if he's asking me to pick, he doesn't care what we eat, you know?
Right. Well, so what I used to do was you would pick the first person picks 3 places. So let's say it's 3 fast foods, so it's McDonald's, Taco Bell, or Wendy's. And then it's the
Mhm.
other person's responsibility. They go, "Well, I don't fucking want Wendy's." So then the
Right.
first person who initiated it just has to choose between 2, and it makes it so, so simple because now you're just
Right.
picking between 1, and
Yeah.
they've already eliminated the one thing that they don't want. So they have to be fine with whatever's left. So that's how
Right.
we went about it so that, you know,
No, and that's
it's
that's
one.
genius because my thing is I just want to eat, right?
Yeah,
Chat can hear me
right.
too. I just want to eat. But if I ask you what you want and you say I don't know or you pick, and then I pick somewhere, you don't get to say no.
Yeah.
Like you
Right.
do, but it's one of those
I
things where it's
I
just
make
back
It's
one
and
like,
forth
like
forever at
give me
that point.
one
Yeah.
veto. Give me one
yeah.
veto, especially if it's like a
Well, yeah.
specific type of food. Like if it's just,
Well, but if
or
it's
if
a
I say I want a
specific type of
burger but I don't want a McDonald's, like then you decide where we're gonna go, you know?
Yeah.
But like, if I say I don't know, what are you thinking? And you go, well, I want Mexican food, and I'm like, maybe I'm not in the mood for Mexican tonight.
But
Like
that's
let's,
different. That's
I
a
get one
that's
veto.
Right.
that's different than
Right.
me saying, "What do you want?" You having zero input.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Which
mean?
is why the, like, giving 3 options works so good because, like, we wouldn't
Yeah, no,
normally do it
that's
with just fast
genius.
food. We would
Yeah, no,
normally do it with,
I like
like,
the three
we
options thing
had
for sure.
a Mexican option, an Italian option, and then, like, a really cheap option. And so they
Yeah.
had to say, "Oh, I'm really not into Italian tonight, so let's go between the Mexican and the cheap option."
Yeah.
So that
Cheap.
way you had the veto. But yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
is one thing to be indecisive because that's me. But if they're never
Right.
picking anything, that is just annoying because they should have a say in their life. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
vetoes even if I'm
Yeah.
spitting ideas, just pick one, don't need to throw the ball back again. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that
No,
is how
I
I
definitely feel
solve
you.
it. And that's how,
Yeah, that's a
because
good
I'm
idea.
indecisive, I just tell people like, this is the little game I play, and it'll
All
help
right.
us to not get in fights.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I need to go not burn the food I'm cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Feel
no,
free to
that's a great
steal that.
idea.
Absolutely.
I'm intrigued by this next
Okay.
one that I have.
Oh, wait, hold on. Before you read that, I did just want to
Yeah,
read one of the comments because this is why they were
sure.
talking about it.
Yeah,
Um, so like I'm going to say this ahead of time. This is very clearly sarcasm, just in case you don't pick up on it. Their username is Lost Turd, by the way, which I think it just adds an extra level of
amazing.
pizzazz to it.
Phenomenal. Yep.
Not the asshole. As a longtime user of Reddit, I can tell you the only solution is to leave your wife forever. She is obviously cheating on you and is just angry because her other man would have known to get her a sausage egg McMuffin. Also, your child definitely isn't your child, and DNA will prove that. She'll most likely sleep with your brother too. She is financially abusing you and forcing you to buy her gifts like McDonald's. That is why she got so mad. Uh, in the future, you will just automatically buy her things. She's a total
Yeah,
manipulator. Next, she will likely pressure you to sell your kidney in some
narcissistic too.
foreign country just so she
Yeah,
can get a few bucks of spending money. OP, you really need to
fucking
get out while you
phenomenal.
can and forget your losses. This woman is batshit crazy and will continue to abuse you financially, mentally, and sexually. She will probably already has been stealing your sperm when you were not aware of it so that she can get pregnant and trap you into
Oh
payments.
my
Look at the red flags, OP, and get out now. OP commented and said, "We have a winner. We are laughing so hard we actually had to pull over."
gosh. That's fucking phenomenal. It needs to be the answer to every Reddit post. IRL. Like,
It's so fucking funny to me. Oh man. And OP did say they stopped at a Dairy Queen an hour later, so she got a treat and everything is fine.
good. Good.
But yeah, that was like, I have to
That's
read this because it just hits every sort of
so
thing that we've
good.
ever complained about with
It
Reddit being
does.
like they're
Yeah,
reading into
yeah.
it. It's so fucking
100%
funny.
ticked every box.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Good job, Lost Turd. Good job. Okay.
Yeah, so this one, we'll have to get into it because
Okay.
the title does not really give any. It's just, am I the asshole for refusing to apologize? Usually my answer is yes
Yeah.
to that, but we'll see. Background info: my husband loves cooking. He goes all out for dinners, and even his lazy meals can seem extravagant at times. Our children have a mature palate. He especially loves when we has guests. When we have guests, as I'm sure what they mean, and that he goes all out for sure. He plans his meals in advance and gets extremely excited. Love that for him.
Okay. We love that for him.
My husband and I had a dinner with our friends and our kids. My husband made us an Arabic salad and garlic bread on the side with mashed potatoes and braised duck served with a sauce. Holy shit.
Wow.
When everyone
I
came, we
over.
had 3 parents and 7 children. My husband and I served everyone food, and everyone was complimenting it, but my husband noticed that one of my friends, let's call her Melissa's child. I don't think English is this person's first name, so
Yeah.
sorry if I'm like not reading it well. I'm trying to
No worries.
do errors. Okay, let's call her Melissa's child, 6 years old, was not eating. So he asked him if he didn't like the food, and he nodded his head, no. And Melissa chimed in and said that he doesn't have a mature palate, and my husband said, sorry. We have mashed potatoes. Maybe he can eat it without the sauce. Melissa said he doesn't eat mashed potatoes. My husband said, that's fine. I can microwave or make him something else quick. Melissa said, thank you. And we told him frozen chicken nuggets would be good. My husband said, ooh, we don't eat frozen food, but how about cereal, peanut butter and jelly, grilled cheese, leftover spaghetti bolognese? And she just said cereal. Next thing that happened was my husband served ice cream and carrot cake. Yum. Melissa's other son, 8, said the ice cream was so good. My daughter, 4, said me and my daddy made it, and we don't eat the store-bought crap. Gotta love 4-year-olds. This is my fault. And then, like, hand to forehead emoji. I was mocking my husband earlier, asking him what he was making, and he said ice cream, and I said in a sarcastic way that we are too good for store-bought crap, huh? It was a force of habit. Me and my husband thought that if we don't point it out, we usually use my husband And I thought that if we don't point it out that we used a bad word, our daughter wouldn't notice. And obviously we were wrong. But I'm 100% sure she didn't say it with any bad intentions. But everyone laughed.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday, I received a call from Melissa saying she felt me and my husband were looking down on her and mommy shaming her because we don't eat frozen food. I was just about to apologize because I never want to make someone feel mommy shamed until this woman said she feels sorry. Hey, Knooch, welcome. Sorry, give me a second. She feels sorry for my daughter because she can already see my snobbishness and self-centeredness spreading to her because of that comment my daughter made about crap ice cream. Oh, Lord almighty.
Right.
And that where I draw the line. I told her not to mention my daughter's name and that wanting to address me. And she shouldn't feel about feeling inferior because she would never be invited to my home again. Good for you. Our friends decided to get involved, and they kept saying that I should apologize because they don't want to be left in the middle. And they feel like I was wrong because I should have known the food was too mature for a kid's palate. I honestly don't care. I have friends outside of this friend group and honestly don't mind cutting them off. Okay, that's a bit drastic. I know this might be an exaggerated reaction, but I'm very sensitive about my daughter, and I want to know if I'm overreacting.
So here's the thing. I think a couple of things happened here. One, I think Melissa's kid, the 6-year-old, has some food issues. He's a picky eater, and Melissa did not tell anybody about that and then just showed up and was like, "Oh, you mean you're not just serving pizza? Wow, crazy." I think the OP's daughter made a post that was or made a comment that was, like, because she heard her parents say it, so she just thought that's what it is. I don't think there was any way intended to be shaming. I think Melissa got upset because she internalized a lot of that, and so called this person up to be like, "Hey, I'm going to blame you for my internalized issue." And then OP got irrationally upset that they were like, "Well, your daughter's gonna grow up and be a self-centered snob."
Yeah.
Like, if they had both
Which,
just taken
honestly, if you say that
approximately
shit about my
6
kid too.
seconds to think
Right.
about it, they would have been fine. I don't think you should cut her
Right.
off. I think you should just explain, like, "She said that because I made a shitty joke about it that was poking
Right.
fun at my husband. It's not anything to do with
Right.
your kid."
And she's 4. Like,
Whatever.
of course she's gonna
Yeah.
repeat something she heard mom and
Right.
dad say that's new, you know? Yeah, and I like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Kids have no filter. You can't blame a kid for being cross at 4.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
nor do I think like I don't think that there was mommy shaming there. Like they said, "Oh, he's not going to eat it." Great. Like I can give you X, Y, Z. We just don't
Right.
happen to have frozen food in our house. My kid didn't eat frozen chicken nuggets for the longest time.
Right.
But yeah, so like I don't think that the OP is the asshole. I think that she is overreacting a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I get it, you know? I mean,
100% I got it.
you're being slammed for something your 4-year-old said. Like, yes, you can try,
Yeah.
but honestly, saying that it's store-bought crap is not the worst thing I've heard a 4-year-old ever say.
No,
So,
and I think that that's definitely an overreaction on the other woman's part to be like, "You're mommy shaming because she said we don't do that store-bought crap." When talking
yeah,
about ice cream, like, come on. Nice
yeah,
pizza day.
kids, yeah, yeah, exactly. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think that she needs to refuse because I do think the friend crossed the line by saying, "Hey, she's going to be self-centered and stuck up or whatever the words were."
Right.
Snobbishness and
Snobbish.
self-centeredness. Like
You're
that
the
was a bit
best.
far. You didn't need to bring that up.
Right. Yeah. I think they all just got in their feels and separately and then came together and it just made it an explosion. My brother at 6 said to my neighbor, "Emmy, you're old." "Yes, Joey, you're gonna die soon," said Joey. We all laughed because kid.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
yeah. Like, yeah, fuck them, hang out with your other friends. Right. And I
Yeah.
get like the other friends just wanting to be kind of like, hey, you two figure this out. Like, we're not going to pick sides. And I get that. I do think she's overreacting a bit by saying, I don't mind cutting everybody off. Like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the new
Yeah.
game.
I mean
I know it's not
I
your
just
cup
don't
of tea, babe.
understand, like, if
It's
you
okay.
have a friend group that you're cutting them out because they're like, "Hey, maybe, like, you could have been a little bit nicer when she came at you
Right.
sideways," like,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. But like she said too, I was ready to apologize, and then she
And then she brought up the
decided to
snobbish
be a
thing.
bitch. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you know, which I get.
right.
This fucking nail polish is still not dry. I put that little bit of black I got on there.
That's a while. Yeah.
Um, thanks for that shout out, babe. Um, Also, for those of you that don't know, Cooch is a friend of mine I've known for several years. I still, it might be a mod, I don't know, but I modded for him up until, yeah, he had some other shit. So,
Yeah.
yeah, his brother does look like him.
That's
But yeah,
funny.
so, but Cooch is a good friend of mine.
Nice.
Uh,
But yeah, Yin Bean, in the end, probs both apologize and say, like, "Hey,
yeah,
children aside, we both can't be a bitch, so let's keep it
and
moving,
I'm surprised 6 other
people."
kids actually ate all of that other stuff too. Like,
I mean,
I mean, my
the
kid is
garlic bread, I
14 and
100%
still does.
understand. Everybody loves garlic bread, right?
Right. Well, not my kid. Oh, cool. Thanks,
You'll learn
Gooch. I
eventually.
wasn't sure if I was a mod still or not. Because I've missed a lot of your streams recently. But yeah, like, because my son used to not like bread at all. Like, he doesn't like cheese. He just barely started eating pizza because it's like all that's offered at like friends' houses and birthday
True.
parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
That's kind
Finally
of
tried
fair.
mac and cheese. Like, but he, he's also neurodivergent, and sometimes it's a texture thing, and sometimes it's just
Right.
he gets that in, like, he doesn't like gravy on things, so he
Right.
wouldn't eat mashed potatoes and gravy. He doesn't like butter on his pancake. He's just a weird child, but he's mine, so
Yeah.
who's shocked there. But yeah, like, so I get it. Like, kids have their specific palate, but I mean, the
Yeah.
husband was more than willing to be like, "Hey, I'll make you a grilled cheese,
I have
ham, or peanut butter
cereal,
and
peanut butter
jelly."
and
Like,
jelly.
yeah,
Yeah,
not a big deal.
exactly. So
Um,
clearly they're not that's why I'm like, clearly she was internalizing something else and just decided to take offense to that one comment way on down the line. Because they
yeah,
clearly, like, in my opinion, went above and beyond to help make sure the kid was fed.
right, yeah,
Like,
yeah. It wasn't like the other
it
stories
wasn't
we've
like,
read
"You
where,
should have told us," or anything like
yeah,
that. It was
like
just
you should have brought food him for him
right.
yourself. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I always did when my kid was little, just because I knew he was so picky.
Yeah.
But it was always like we try to have him do a no thank you bite, so he had to at least try things unless it was a
I like
huge
that.
like texture issue. But
Right.
I have
If it was
texture issues
something
with food
new.
too.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I find both offenses very minor issues. Exactly. It's an easy thing
Mhm.
to come to the table and move forward without. It's not a hill to die on, like Karen is saying, kind of early. But yeah.
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 100%.
I kind of understand where she's coming from, though, of like, hey, if my friends decide that they don't want to decide, I'll just.
I
Yeah, but
mean,
I don't think that I mean, I think she said it out of anger. And again, like, I've said things out of
right.
anger too. Like, let's
But
give her the benefit of the doubt.
I don't think she called I think she
Yeah.
said she will,
Well, she said that
maybe
my
she's
snobbishness and self-centeredness is
gonna spreading to
spreading to
her
my daughter. Yeah.
because of the one
So
comment about
really,
ice
she's
cream.
talking shit about you.
Right.
Yeah. Both. Yeah, I think if both people can apologize, but I
Right.
get OP's wanting her friend to apologize first. Like, her friend made it a bigger deal than it was by bringing
Yeah.
in, those words. In my
Right.
opinion. But what do I know?
Yeah. Agreed.
Everybody is just heated. They
Yeah.
can.
They need to, like, take a second. But I don't think ending a friendship because you're like, "Well, if you keep going like this, she's gonna turn out snobbish and self-centered just like you." It's like, okay."
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And if it's not, if they decide not to de-escalate it, then, don't be friends
Whatever.
with these people. Like, no big
But that's
deal.
crazy that she would throw away the whole friend group
Which it's not a bad
because
thing.
she got into a fight with one person, and the rest
My
of the friend
kid's
group
an
wasn't even
asshole
there.
90% of the time. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. No, I love my
That's so
son,
funny.
but he is almost 15 and genuinely an asshole most of the time. So,
Well, there you go.
again, but who's shocked by that? He is mine. Um,
Oh,
no,
man, the one I was
he's a
gonna
good kid,
read
but
got
he's.
removed.
Oh
I hate when that
no.
happens. Alright, let me find another one.
Yeah, I get that. But it sounds like this group was like more of an acquaintances too.
Yeah.
No, I think the older you get, the more like your friendships become.
Fewer and far between. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine are definitely
Well,
more
good. I'm
selective
glad he
now than they
was.
were in high school.
He's overall a good kid. He's just, he's a freshman now, so he thinks that
He's
he's
a
tough
kid.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
All right.
let's see. All right,
Got
we're
another
gonna
one?
do this one. Am I the asshole for causing a class-wide food ban? I'm a college student, and my first class on Tuesday/Thursdays begins at 10:30. We don't have assigned seating in this class, but for the most part, people gravitate toward the same spots. The guy who sits next to me has a habit of eating sandwiches during class. I won't lie that it bothers me, but because our entire class is full, I don't have the option of moving seats this late into the semester. He usually eats it within 10 minutes, though, so it's not that big of a problem. Today in class, he pulled out his usual sandwich and I started to cough. I could faintly smell peanut butter, so I asked him if that's what he was eating. He said he was, and I excused myself quickly, otherwise, I would go into anaphylaxis. I texted a
Sure.
friend inside to grab my things so I wouldn't have to go back and left class for the day. I emailed my professor letting her know that I needed access to slides because I had to leave early due to the peanut butter sandwich. The professor sent out a Canvas announcement saying that food was no longer allowed during class due to an incident. Everyone saw me cough and then leave. And I've now gotten text saying it wasn't fair that my health caused a ban on everything. I emailed my professor to let her know, and she said that she was going to keep the ban because she didn't like the snacking in class anyway. I feel really bad because I didn't expect it to escalate like this, and I'm contemplating staying home from class for the week because everyone knows it's my fault. Am I the asshole? Oh my god, absolutely no way.
No, not at
Your
all.
teacher is
Like, that's not
100%
something
an
you can
asshole.
change. Yeah.
Right. No, your teacher's an asshole for banning all food from the class because one person has a peanut allergy. He can ask for
Right.
allergies and then ban those items from the class due to the status of the classroom. But, like, I that's awful. And I do totally empathize, though, about feeling bad because everyone knows that it is you. Like, you're the reason why the teacher banned food, even though it's not your fault. You know what I mean? Especially, like, a freshman in college isn't gonna understand that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get you.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, no, absolutely not the asshole. Like, and a it's not like, oh, I hate the smell of peanuts. Like, no,
Right.
you cannot change that. Um,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell her, though, because like, that sucks that it was banned from all food. I
right.
don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's annoying.
I'd
And
be
especially like if you have people that are diabetic or something in
right.
um I don't know that I want to get into
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm I mean,
There's one that like part of me wants to read, but I don't think he
yeah.
doesn't.
I always that's one of the things I loved about college was, like, you could just do whatever. So, like, if you wanted to eat in class for the most part. Like, you couldn't eat in labs and things like that. But it was different from my high school
Right.
experience. And I'd be so pissed if a teacher was like, nope. I decided I don't like food, so none of you can eat in my class." It's like,
Right.
"Come on, bro. We're
Yeah,
adults.
no.
We can literally
Yeah.
eat whenever we want at like most other places."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people like need a little snack in between,
Yeah.
uh, things, especially college classes. Like that's a
Right.
lot.
Yeah.
Um,
So I would like to point out that that is not typically how peanut butter allergies work. And that if the allergy is that severe, that person is typically not a person who leaves their house to go into big public gatherings where they can't control what people have
right.
eaten, period.
Right.
Okay.
So,
But in this case, this person felt the safest thing was to get up and leave, you
Yeah.
know, and I can understand that
Right.
for this because it probably caught her off guard. So she just went, okay, I'm going to bail right now.
Right.
Uh,
And depending on how close they were too, like some college classrooms, you're really, really close. So it'd be different if someone 5 rows down from you had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
right.
whereas the dude right next to you having it,
You're
like it might
anti-food.
be uh okay. It took me a second there, not gonna lie, Zach, because I was like, "Excuse me, sir. Um, I have seen your streams." There is no way that you are anti-food. And then I remembered that you're Zach, and so okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Also, hi, Zach. Welcome.
Also, hi, Zach. Good to see you, bud.
All right, my next one. There is an update on this one. I'm trying to. I guess the update doesn't really matter. Like if I read it first. But am I the asshole for refusing my sister's offer to pay for the gender reveal scan? It says, "Hi all, quick update, but a fair bit has happened in the last 24 hours, and it isn't good. First of all, thank you everyone for your advice. I took it all on board, especially the stuff about setting our boundaries now and not taking any more manipulation."
Right.
Heavy. There was some people questioning the need for a reveal scan. We just thought it would be nice for our first child. I understand that's not for everyone's liking, but that's what we want to do. Wait, maybe we should. Is this not the original post connected to it? Pause. Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Is this just going to be a nightmare? Hold on.
Well, while you're looking that up.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I think we can get the major.
It's very severe allergy in adjacent seats. Severe allergies like that may happen. I've seen a severe allergy to peanut where the proteins in the air can cause hives and swelling. My friend carries an EpiPen in her purse at all times because it's such a high-risk allergy. Even wears a medical bracelet 24/7 in case she can't convey to someone her allergies. The band is linked to her medical history record. That's really smart, and I'm glad that she does carry it with her and that she has a medical bracelet on. Peanut allergies are really severe. They can be. And they're super fucking common too. Like they're one of the most common. So that's why a lot of schools are peanut-free zones, like a lot of your elementary schools and things like that. And I can 100% agree with banning peanut butter and peanuts in classrooms. I think like other items that are less likely to have allergens, I just think it's personally kind of ridiculous to like ban gushers. I don't know anyone that has an allergy to gushers unless I have an allergy to red dye number 40. But to have that kind of stuff banned from the classroom, or like Pringles, which are gluten free and stuff like that kind of stuff, I think can be allowed in the classroom for students who need something, especially in longer classes. Sometimes snacking is a way to like help people stay engaged and awake. So I don't think it's right to ban all foods, but I absolutely think it's the teacher's prerogative and priority to make sure that anyone who has like allergies can like that should be banned 100%.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because I remember like at least for grade school, like elementary, high school, all of that, like they would ask you about food allergies before.
Right.
So in colleges, I'm sure different because it's so many kids in one classroom.
Right.
But like some people's college like courses, they're so close in between that like you can't
right
have time in between to snack, you know? So yeah, it's tough. And it's one of those where unfortunately like there might not be a great thing, a great answer for it.
Right.
But yeah, I'm very lucky and thankful as well that I don't have any, like at least not any major food allergies. I have some like intolerances, but nothing that will kill me. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. And that's unfortunately the deep dark hole that you get into. So let's go back on to
that is true.
the next one.
Remote work makes it
remote work definitely helped. Because it's like, I mean, because you run into like, oh, well, you can't make popcorn in the microwave because Susie down the way doesn't like it, or you can't heat up fish, or like, yeah, those are like really strong smells, but at the
Yeah.
same time, fucking get over yourselves. If I want to have a tuna sandwich, I should be able to have a tuna sandwich. Like,
I think tuna sandwiches are different than like heating up salmon in the
no,
microwave.
yeah,
That's
I
gonna
get
smell.
that. I get that. But like, I mean,
That's
if you're
maybe
just
we should
bringing in
not.
leftover, if that's like part of your budget and stuff, and you like then
Yeah.
can't eat something that you really like,
Right.
you know, spray fucking Febreze in the break room after you've heated it up or something. Maybe I'm probably sparking a whole lot of anger in everybody right now. I'm glad I don't work in a place like that anymore.
I mean,
Okay,
I work from home, so I can eat whatever the fuck I
yeah,
want.
you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with Zach too. Like everything going remote was a huge plus with
Yeah.
that. Because like there was always, you know, acceptable foods that like I was smell sensitive to. And like especially if I have a migraine, I get super sound um like sight
Yeah.
and sound and smell sensitive. So like there were plenty of times where like you'd want to throw up because of it. Okay, so going back
Yep.
into this one, so we're just
Okay.
going to read this, and I think we'll get the gist of it. But it says, anyway, my sister called me on Sunday. I explained that my girlfriend should be allowed to have whomever she wants in the room, talking about when this gender scan is done. She
Okay.
reiterated the
Is
awkwardness
it
of it
scan
at
or
the scan.
scam? Oh, scan. Okay. I thought
Yeah,
when you first read
they're
the title
having
that
the
you said
ultrasound to
gender
decide if
scam,
they're
and I
having a
was like, I
boy or
mean,
girl. Yeah,
I
no,
guess
no.
all gender is a scam. Sure, we'll go down this rabbit hole.
Sure. So I suggested a coffee meetup, to which she said that she'd chat with my mom about it. My mom turned it down and said it was too formal. And in her words, I'm sure I'll meet them someday. Think she's talking about the baby there, which is, get over yourself. She suggested that we maybe have 2 separate scans, one for each side of the family. I turned this down because I thought it was gross. My girlfriend is not a test subject for other people's
Yeah.
enjoyment. And then I said that we would book it on our own and invite who we wanted to have there, or have it just be us. She then turned passive aggressive and said, fine, you do what you want. I've been nothing but supportive, and my girlfriend is going to want her family there for everything. I said this isn't true, that she does want both families involved. But like I have this like huge feeling too with like who's in the room when the delivery happens. Like, get away, you don't need to see my hoo-ha as I'm shoving a baby out of it. Thank you.
Right.
Knowing that they continue to try and make offers for the scan, I sent them a long message to both of them in a group chat. I've added the screenshots on the Insane Siblings subreddit, which you can see on my profile. And you can see it in the reply from my sister. She attempted to gaslight me into feeling bad. After she said we would part ways, I blocked her and everything. Oh, God. Okay. I'm not having that kind of influence in my life, and certainly not subjecting my girlfriend to it, especially if they're not going to respect our boundaries. Which, good for you, especially with bringing in a baby. Like, if family can't respect boundaries.
Yeah.
My mom called me a short time after and told me my message was condescending, cold, and formal, and didn't understand why I was, quote, overreacting about the scan. Told me not to interrupt. Even a message I sent to her, which was among the same lines as the one in the screenshot, I told her it's not just about the scan. It's about her over-involvement in general. Clearly, my sister left out details because she didn't know about my sister wanting to look after the baby every weekend and being insecure about the support for my girlfriend's family. She said we should all go meet up to chat. I'm not having them bully me, though. If I'm there to chat, I'm having someone in my corner. Makes sense. She said she didn't want us arguing about it, but I said the ball is in my sister's court. Mom is
Okay.
attempting to play the peacekeeper and has sided with my sister's erratic behavior, so I don't trust either of them. So it sounds like sister really wants to like play mom here.
Yeah.
And mom is supporting sister, and brother is saying, hey, how about this is our kid, not yours.
Right.
Right? Like, I feel like that kind of sums up what's going on. As for the scan, my girlfriend and I have booked our own scan, and we're having a reveal party next weekend where everyone is welcome. Although right now I'm not inviting my mom and sister. I've explained the situation to my dad, and he is disgusted at them. My sister and I have different dads. And then there's an edit. Sorry, I forgot to add, you're right, that I should not have apologized to my mom for how I broke the news to her. She often comments on how my dad doesn't come down to see me, and it's mostly me going up there. My dad and I do talk, and when I go up there, he often wants to pay for everything with no questions asked. I don't take this for granted, of course. I get a round of beer or two or chip in for the takeaway or whatever. Either way, I'm happy with the relationship my dad and I have. Yeah, mom doesn't get to dictate your relationship with your father. Like,
Right.
we've had issues in the past, but we move forward because it definitely sounds like mom and dad aren't together.
Yeah.
Also re-uploaded a screenshot text message reply from my sister to my profile since it keeps getting taken down on the sub for spam. Although Reddit kept blanking the images, so I've added an imager. I can't ever say the name of that website. Link in them.
Imager.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Imgur. Thank you. Imgur.
Imgur just sounds silly.
Yeah, it's like my brain does not want that to be an actual word. It does.
Yeah.
Grr. I loved Grr in Invader Zim. Anyway, the number one comment is just not the asshole. Reads like you're doing a rock star job supporting your partner and buffering her from your sister and mom. Your sister reads like an overbearing asshole who should stay in her swim lane. Likewise to your mom. Basically.
Right. Yeah, I mean, first of all, I just want to go back to the fact that so many people want to be in the room for the scan for the gender. Like, I just don't know enough pregnant people, but they have not a single one of them has ever invited friends or family to be there. It's always just been the pregnant lady and the
father and potentially
just
siblings, so like
lady.
other children that couple have.
Yeah, I mean, most of my friends have left their kids at home, just because they're like, no, I want to be away from my fucking kids.
Right.
Just to be honest
I've seen it both
but I can
ways.
see why that would be. They would have the kids there because they're the, either the full-time carer or they want it to be like a family event with their like actual unit. But I've never had anyone be like, my mom wants to be there when I get my ultrasound done. I've always just heard it of like, my mom wants to see an ultrasound, so I got to send it. Otherwise, she's going to be mad at me. Which I think, like, you can still have a conversation about whether or not they're entitled to see the ultrasounds, but like, what? Like, that's what I'm stuck on because I just can't imagine a world wherein that would be a normal request to have. So of course OP isn't the asshole. Why would they be?
So I did find like the actual original post, and I'm just going to read the excerpt that matters here.
Okay.
So my sister has been supportive. She helped us move into a house, wanted to take my partner out baby shopping in a few weeks. However, my mother is less helpful. We had a FaceTime mid-August about housing options, and my mother randomly asked me if my partner was on the pill. I said yes, and I've seen her take it, but they found out in August they were pregnant. And she asked if I was sure, almost like she was insinuating that I was baby trapped.
Oh.
I've had worries about my sister. I am happy she's excited, but I feel sometimes she's too much. You don't say. She was talking about having the baby every weekend so we could do stuff as a couple. And I said we'd have to consider both families.
Yeah.
100%. Plus, there are plenty of weekends you're going to want. Like, I have talked about this before, but when my son was a newborn, my mom and dad had, like they said, we will take him 2 overnights a month or 1 full weekend. And like with my little sister having just gotten married last year, like I've told them already, when that time comes for them, I'm more than willing to do something similar. But whenever you need, there'll be months where you don't want it, But yeah, I'm not going to be like, hey, I get your kid every weekend. No, fuck you. I don't even want that.
No. That's an insane ask anyway. Like, I'll have your kid for the weekend so you can go out and have like fun coupley time.
Yeah.
Like, no.
She was also concerned about us moving a bit closer to my girlfriend's family and further them from mine. She said I wouldn't get as much support. Fuck you. How do you know? And question the support for my partner's family as her mother lives 2 hours away. I said she comes down every weekend to look after her mother with dementia, so she'll be fine. My sister then offered to pay for our gender reveal scan. We both thought it was a lovely gesture and said yes. My
Right.
sister then, like, understandably wanted to come because she's paying for it, which rude. Just because you offer to pay for it doesn't automatically mean you get to be
Yeah.
there.
No.
Sorry.
In no world.
Yeah. My sister told me that the one she was booking allowed for up to 5 people to come, and it suggested that we bring my mom along. I then said if she's coming, then my
Oh.
girlfriend's mom should also come, which would make sense, right?
Well, no, just don't even entertain it. Just don't even be like, well, if they're then
But
no,
like
no,
sis shouldn't get to
don't be in the
decide at
room.
all. But so
Yeah.
sis disagreed because it's the only involvement that they'll have during the pregnancy, and my girlfriend's family will be at all other events. Go fuck yourselves.
Do
We
you
said
have
it's
to have
not.
separate
Sorry,
events? Like,
I
what the
added the
fuck?
go fuck yourself.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
She said it's not about who we're including, or we said it's not about who we're including. It's about having the support during a very personal appointment. 100%. And my girlfriend doesn't want only all of my family there. Also fair.
Because
Guess what?
she's the
It's
one
not
that's having to
just your
push
kid.
the thing
Right.
out of her hoo-ha. Yeah.
My mom previously said either it's just my family or no scan. Go fuck yourself. I
Then
said,
no
fine, we'll pay for it ourselves. My sister then messaged my girlfriend to explain her reasoning, which left her in tears. Also, go fuck yourself. She also said to my family like to do things separate and they're a bit antisocial. Okay. They think meeting my girlfriend's mom at the scan will be awkward. Who fucking cares? We think this kind of reasoning is selfish and not putting our wishes first. Because it is.
Yeah.
My mom and sister are trying to get me to understand their reasoning, but I do understand it. I just don't agree with it. My girlfriend's mom isn't
Right.
bothered by them not wanting her there, just more about how it's affected us. She told me not to worry about them and hugged me. Oh. She said she's happy to pay for it and then told me that then I can invite whoever I want.
Yeah.
Don't need to worry about a vasectomy.
Nice.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, like honestly, you don't need 5,000 people in the room. And I'm surprised
No.
that this place would, I mean, clearly the sister looked for places that would, because a
Wow.
lot of like hospitals and stuff still won't let more than 1 or 2 people in the room because it, like, even though the big C is, less
Well,
intense as it once was, it's still a
even
big
without
deal.
that, like if you're just getting an ultrasound, a lot of those rooms aren't that big.
Yeah.
Like there's just not room for it because a lot of those kinds of exam rooms are on the smaller side. So what the fuck? Like where are they gonna go? They're gonna sit on top of each other?
Right. Plus, it's like, yes, ultrasounds are awesome and amazing to see. However,
Right.
it's not that, like, it's special, but it's not,
Right.
like, not to discount it because there's nothing like hearing the baby's heartbeat for the first time. But that's so, like, much something that should be able to be shared between mom and dad and the baby, like,
But
you
like
don't
that's why
need a
they have
bunch of people in
recordings of
there.
it and you can always get
Right.
printouts of
Yeah,
the
you can
freaking
always share the
ultrasound.
recording, or you can get the belly bands that like check heart rate now too, so that
Right.
everybody individually can hear it. Like,
Yeah. Just shut
oh,
up. And again, yeah, that's
right.
100% family like pushing a boundary that has been set and they're just wanting to get their way. It's not cool and cut it the fuck out. That's awful. Oh yeah, the butt stuff merch.
Yeah, we do.
Good
I love
old
butt stuff.
butt stuff. We talk about butt stuff a lot here. All right. Well, okay.
Sorry, that
Are we
one
ready for
was
the next
a
one?
lot, but it was a good one. Yeah.
I mean, it was just there's a lot of details.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I the asshole for repeatedly asking my boyfriend to get blackout curtains so that I can sleep?
No.
My 22 female boyfriend, 26 male, has been living in his apartment for a little over a year now. He has no curtains but lots of windows, and I have a really hard time sleeping when the sun is shining right through the windows. Same girl, same. Every few months, I say something along the lines of, "Do you think you could please get blackout curtains soon? Sleep is really important to me, and I can't sleep with all this light." He usually is dismissive and says I'm acting like a child begging for something from a parent. He always uses the excuse that his parents will be going to IKEA when they visit his sister in college every few months, yet they're always out of stock of these damn curtains. I've told him he can literally get them online with free shipping, yet he always puts it off. I reminded him again this morning after not mentioning it for months, and he said, Okay, I'll look this week. I might not buy them though. I just don't understand why he's so stubborn. Is my request really that insane? I'm getting to the point where I'm not that nice about it when I bring it up because it's been so long and he's dragging his feet for no good reason.
Oh,
We don't live together and I only sleep at his place for 1 or 2 nights a week, so I'm wondering if this is contributing to his stubbornness. Still, I'm not sure why a person wouldn't want curtains. I should also add that I've offered several times to buy them myself, and he has a very negative reaction saying, "No, I'm not letting you do that. I'll get them sometime." If he'd said yes, I would have bought them instantly and we could have been done with this year-long disagreement.
uh, so that does take away my initial, because before we started, I told you like, oh, this
Yeah,
one's easy to fix. Fucking buy them yourself. I now
right?
understand why she doesn't. Okay, fair. Also, why is this going on a year? Um, Also, is it that big of a deal if you're only sleeping over 1 or 2 nights? But maybe, especially after dating for a year, maybe you want to be able to sleep over more and you need them. I get that.
Right. I
Um,
100% would not be able to sleep over more if there weren't curtains on
yeah,
the windows.
yeah. Like, I I get it. I like, I just recently bought like this film for my windows because, as you know, D, like my room gets super hot, but
Yeah, yeah.
my blinds, they're just pull down blinds and they're super loose. And so it's a catch 22. Like either the
Right.
blinds are too loose and they hang down to the floor and the cats try to climb them and it's a big deal, or I have sun in my eyes. But this film works really
Yeah.
well because then in the morning, especially when I have to go to work, because, fucking jobs, dumbass things that adults have to do, it helps
Right.
me like get out of bed.
Yeah,
I also
true.
like sleeping with my window open because I'm on the second floor and it's safe for me to do it here.
Yeah.
Um, but what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, just either let
Yeah.
her buy it or,
Right.
yeah, I
So
agree
that
with Ian. I think the verdict here is they're both being buttholes, communicate and work together on a solution instead of nagging each other. Right.
yeah, so
Um,
I'm trying to find some of OP's comments because they've commented in here a bunch apparently. Someone
so I
but I can't
found,
find
yeah,
any of them.
did you see the one from No Chef, after reading the OP's replies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to figure out what replies, that they're referring to, but yeah, they said, "After reading the OP's replies, I'm going not the asshole. This has been going on for a year, OP has offered to buy them, and boyfriend keeps putting her off and saying he'll do it and then not doing it and then complaining that she's asking. I'm wondering if there's another reason that he's putting it off. My ex-girlfriend didn't like blackout curtains as she has very bad night sight, although she never asked
Hmm.
me to take them down. I have a friend that has night terrors and has a nightlight to prevent waking up and freaking out in complete darkness. Either way, I'd suggest staying at your place until he comes through. If he doesn't, then he's showing you he doesn't value you." Um, like, yeah, I think there's something else going on here as to why he doesn't have
Yeah.
blackout curtains. Um, Someone said let me translate this for you. He doesn't want blackout curtains in his room. He finds it easier to keep putting you off than just saying no, hoping that you'll get the idea and drop it. You've lived without them for a year, so it's pretty good bet that he can keep sleeping with you without giving in, with no more consequences than your begging, which he can safely belittle and ignore. So everyone sucks here and stop sleeping with him, which,
Right.
yeah, she did offer. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Um,
I mean, maybe like I can see if maybe again, this is a communication issue. If this is the thing,
right,
it's that easy to fucking tell her. But like if they're living in a rented place, he might be worried about like deposit loss or whatever by putting up a
right,
curtain. Even though there are plenty of ways that like really don't mark up your walls and
right.
stuff that bad. There's always a communicate. Yeah, I know. It is Reddit.
It's Reddit. True.
I
That's
love
why they're
this
coming here.
comment though. It said, "I'd be making them put up curtains or just a smear of mud over the hole if you're not allowed curtains when you move out." I don't know what that means. I don't think they can say you can't mount curtains unless they provide window coverings.
Yeah.
Or
Fair.
I'd become a nudist and then see how fast they put up blinds when the neighbors had to stare at my 40-year-old
Right.
blob of ink I call a body every day.
Yeah. I think this
Ah,
comment, I think, says it really well, and I think uses boundaries in the appropriate context for once on Reddit. Um,
right?
this OP, you have to control your actions. You can't force blackout curtains on him. You can, however, set a boundary and enforce it. That boundary would look like, without a comfortable sleeping situation, I can't get quality sleep at your place. As sleep is important to me, I will be sleeping at my place and not yours, and you can come over here where I have curtains. then
Mhm.
don't sleep over. If he can't get over it, then he's just not that into you. Which, to be clear, what I mean by that's the actual right way to say boundaries. Boundaries are not something you can put on somebody else. Boundaries saying, I'm not tolerating this behavior, so I'm going to remove myself from the situation because it's not appropriate for me. For
Yep.
perspective, because you were still young and may think that men disregarding your comfort is normal, a few months into my relationship, I told a boyfriend that I had trouble sleeping in his room because of some factors out of my control. What I could control was not sleeping over when I had an early morning. He immediately offered some solutions, including swapping sides of the bed we slept on to make sure that I was more comfortable. So if he wanted to, he would, which I think is that, I mean, that sums it up. Commitment to do something agreed
Yeah.
upon is important. He's clearly not invested at the very least in communication. If he can't get his feet moving to get it done or express directly why he won't, both are bad signs. Yeah. What are those eye covering things that people use to help them sleep? Sleep mask. You know what? I actually do. I have both. So I sleep with a sleep mask. It's called Manta is the name of the company. I absolutely
Oh,
adore it.
I've heard about
They like
those.
are
Yeah.
puffed out from the eyes so you can like open your eyes fully while they're in the mask. And they really
Yep.
block out light really well. I still have blackout curtains because I am very light sensitive when I sleep. And so
Yeah.
if I don't have that, I will wake up at everything. And I'm also an aggressive sleeper, so I will like knock my eye mask off. And there've been plenty of mornings where I've woken up without it on because again,
Yeah.
I'm aggressive when I sleep. So I I think that there absolutely can be a common ground here, but to me, it's absolutely a little bit red flaggy that she's like, "Hey, it really hurts me to sleep with so much light coming in. Can we get curtains?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it." And then she offers to pay for it, and he's like, "No, fuck you."
Right.
Like that seems there's something else here, and he's not being honest with
Yeah.
it. And so he needs to get his shit
That's a
together.
good idea too, Zach. Zach says, I wake up at 10 a.m., so I need blackout curtains. I use a Wi-Fi controlled LED light in my room to simulate the sun rising at this time that I need it to, which is nice. I've
That's
I've
smart.
seen a lot of those. But like, and sometimes it's hard to get used to, especially if you're used to sleeping. Like I was just telling to Dave, like those Manta ones, because I've looked at them and I've looked at like getting the ones with the
Yeah.
headphones in them, just because I typically sleep with one earbud in,
Mhm.
and listen to something to help me sleep. But I also need to be able to like hear if my grandma were to
Yeah,
fall or something. So,
right.
um, I've looked at getting those too. But just because like from Dave's house to my house when he comes up to stay with me for a while, hopefully soon, it's like a huge drastic change light wise from his bedroom
Right.
to mine. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
like it takes a while to get used to.
Mhm.
Especially being that, we live too far apart for it to be a like every week thing, like it's every couple of months thing. So
Right. Right.
um oh, somebody goes, and we have a winner, and she goes, what does she suck for? Somebody else goes, disrespecting herself for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
Nice.
have
Oh, which
windows in
is
your
so good.
room, and I have mostly windows in my room.
Yeah.
I listen to scary stories typically. I'm a
I love
weirdo.
that.
I used to listen to true crime podcasts, and then I would stay awake listening to them. So I just listen to things like that are shorter, so I can fall asleep in between.
Which is fair.
Um,
So
Yeah,
that's that
and
one.
somebody else said he might be a procrastinator. I don't think that that's what it is. I think obviously the
No,
boyfriend has a reason why he doesn't want the curtains, but
especially if she's offered
he needs
to
to
go out and buy
communicate
them.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
That was
but
my
then he gets
second
all
point.
butthurt by the recommendation because, like, what the fuck? I don't
Yeah.
know. So I have one last one,
Okay. And then I'll
and
have
it
one last.
that's that first one that I talked to you about, but I think I do want to dive into it.
Okay.
So we'll see how this one goes. If we decide partway through that it's not something we want to talk about, we'll just skip it.
Sure.
But am I the asshole for calling my friend's girlfriend? I love Broadway stuff. Love it. Like Hamilton is my favorite right now. Anyway, but we can chat about that outside because I love talking to people about shows. Anyway,
Yeah.
am I the asshole for calling my friend's girlfriend creepy because she won't stop bringing up my race? I, 25 female, have a group of friends, all 24 to 26, 8 in total. That includes a guy. We'll call him Nick. Nick Nick has a girlfriend. I'll call her Josie, 24, and they've been dating for 8 or 9 months. Nick introduced Josie to the group about 6 months ago. I'm a big theater kid, too. Both Josie and I are mixed race. The rest of the group is white. Ever since we met Josie, she's made really out-of-pocket comments to or about me concerning racially related things. Things like asking me if or why all of my friends are white, questions about my mother's African background, comments about how I do my hair, like how I shouldn't straighten it. I always try to steer the conversation away from these topics and laugh it all off, but she brings it up so often. Nick says she's just trying to find a foothold in the group, but I really don't see why she can't try to get to know me or anyone else in the group as people rather than just bringing up this irrelevant thing that we have in common. I also pointed out to Nick that Josie and I may both be half African, but it's not the same country in Africa. It's wildly different cultures. Even if I was raised in an African culture, which I wasn't, it wouldn't be one similar to hers. So it really is grasping at straws. And that's not to say, and that's to say nothing of the fact that it makes me uncomfortable. Anyway, over the weekend, we had a boat day and we were having lunch. We were talking about school, and I mentioned that one of the schools I went to had predominantly Asian students. Josie asked if there were any Black students in my year, and I said yes, but I didn't know them very well. She then asked if the reason I wasn't friends with them is because they thought I wasn't Black enough, quote unquote. I don't know if that was the comment or the countless ones before it, but I just felt so angry that she would once again try to make a conversation that everyone was participating in and make it into a race thing for no reason. I said, no, Josie, that's not why we weren't friends. Frankly, the only person I've ever met who is obsessed with my racial identity is you. And just so you know, it's really creepy. Josie started to stutter an apology, but I said the only apology I was interested in was it not being brought up ever again. And my boyfriend jumped in and changed the topic. Nick later took me aside and said that I'd really upset Josie and she was just trying to bond with me. He said she has trauma, he didn't go into detail, about her race, and humiliating her like I did really made her feel uncomfortable. I told him that it wasn't my problem and I'm not going to be Josie's emotional support colored friend, her words, not mine. And if he thought I should be, that I wasn't sure what that said about how he views me. Nick is now mad at me for insinuating he's racist, and two friends have taken his side. I don't think I was wrong for wanting Josie to respect me like everyone else, but evidently people think what I said was too harsh. Was it? Yeah, I agree with that. Like, even the trauma doesn't give her any right to make anybody else feel uncomfortable.
Right. 100%.
Now, could it have been said at some point to her, you know, and what this doesn't go into is if OP ever said, hey, Josie, like, aside from, you know, how many times did she actually say, I don't like this line of, of conversation.
Right.
We're not going to talk about my racial identity. Or did she just try to steer it and change the topic over and over again until she finally blew up? Which, I mean, in my mid-20s, that's probably what I would have done too, is just kind of change the subject until it finally got to be too much. But it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think you're an asshole, though, for saying that you get weird vibes from them.
No.
Yeah, I
No,
don't know. That's
and
an odd
I think
situation.
honestly, the way that OP said, like, the only person that is obsessed with my racial identity is you, because that is definitely how it seems. I think,
Yeah.
I want to give Josie the benefit of the doubt and say, she's probably latching on to OP as being another female in the group and another person of color.
Yeah.
And trying to latch on and saying that they're the same. But I get OP's saying, hey, like, yes, we're both people of color. However, like, our African heritage isn't even the same country,
Right.
So I get that too. But
Yeah.
I think Josie's probably just latching on because she wants a friend and it's something that she feels they have in common. But clearly needs to learn to drop it.
Yeah. That's,
you know?
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like they're the only two girls in the group, because I was about to be like, well, maybe just latch on because we are both female, you know? Like,
Yeah.
hey, don't you hate when your boobs randomly hurt out of nowhere? Like, talk about that shit, not
Oh
your...
my God, yeah. No, I do
right?
like that, though.
That's the worst pain of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's hard. It's hard. I don't think Josie's like doing it to be personal, like purposefully
Right.
malicious.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the comment, and this is probably where some of her trauma comes from. The whole comment, you know, if I wasn't friends with them, it's because they thought I wasn't Black enough. Like that could be where her trauma comes from. So maybe she was trying to bond over that. But again, not anything for you fucking to decide at this point, you know?
True.
But
Very
it's a
true.
tough one. Like, I want to say no assholes here. Like, just have open communication about, like, hey, this makes me uncomfortable. Like, let's find something else we have in common. Or if OP has no interest to really being better friends with Josie, fine. You know? Yeah, I agree. I would rather find better ways of making a deep connection and some authentic bonding. She's not being malicious, I agree. But there's kind ways to incite a better direction than escalation. That's a great way to say it, yeah. Because she definitely did escalate it, and there wasn't a need to have that reaction. Like, I've definitely said things out of frustration and anger, and then realized I shouldn't have said it in front of a bunch of people. Especially when I was younger, let's be honest. I mean, it fucking happened yesterday too. Not really, but it could have. But, you know, yeah, I just think clearly for Josie, it seems like, you know, for her life growing up, race was a bigger thing. And this group of friends, it doesn't really seem to be a topic of conversation, or, you know, they don't talk about, you know, like, they seem mature enough to see people as people and not by the color of their skin. You know what I mean?
I mean, it just sounds like it's a very delicate conversation to have.
Yeah.
And neither party is approaching it well.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just need to definitely sit down and talk and say, hey, you know.
Yeah.
OP then later says, I don't consider my friends racist. I just think they hear the she's got trauma and thinks that she should then be coddled. Obviously, she's not making these comments to them, so it's not on them to coddle her. It's on me since I'm the subject of the issue. Just fair. Never felt like they were jabs. I always felt like she was protecting her own thought or projecting her own thoughts onto me and bringing it up so that we would be like, oh my God, same. But I wasn't, because we are very different people with very different experiences. I've come across women who do the same thing. Like, they'll just start talking to me about what they think is a universal female experience and presume that I share their view. I've just never come across someone who doesn't take the hint when the energy is not matched, and never came across malicious, just ignorant on her part to presume that I base my connections with people on their genetic makeup, which is a great way to say it, I think, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
So.
That's tough, though.
Yeah, it is
Also,
definitely
good
a
luck
tough
to
situation. Hopefully OP can,
everybody.
you know, help her. And I
Yeah.
will say, like, one thing, and it took me a long ass time to really recognize, like, with the trauma that I've been through in my life, like, and I just had this realization. Actually, I think my mom is the one that said it, but like, because of how young I was when the first major traumatic thing happened, we were talking about something else. She goes, well, you were kind of emotionally stunted at 13. And I went, oh my God. Because, you know, I then kind of stopped with my maturity growth to try to deal with the trauma that I had gone through. And so, yeah, then like I ended up being, you know, I'm a few years behind everybody else in my age range, you know, and so maybe that's part of what this is. Like, OP didn't have trauma of that sense. So, you know, she's able to be a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
Part of how I throughout my life have been able to mold and bounce between different circles all the time is just learning useful and efficient ways to de-escalate and redirect communications that are unwanted or touchy. Yeah, they are great skills for anyone and everyone to learn. Yeah. And maybe this is just the chance for OP to try to help Josie with that. I mean, no assholes, so they both can use a class of communication skills. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
everyone could. I also think that
absolutely.
everyone should work in the service industry
Yeah,
because of those communication skills. You'll pick up so many communication skills working in service. But that's just my
right.
opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Um,
honestly, I mean, being young and in your, early mid 20s is a chance to kind of figure out and make these mistakes when they're not
yeah,
going to, like obviously it's a big deal, but it's not going to like end your career. You know what I mean?
right, right.
Yeah.
All right. 1 or 2. Pick a number.
2.
Okay. Oh. All right, we're gonna go with it. Am I the asshole for getting ready to tell my husband to give up on his dream? Backstory. My husband and I both work in fields we didn't really picture ourselves in, but we realized that it is what it is and we need to pay bills, etc. His job was in sales and it got toxic quick. They didn't like him and I told him to start looking for a new job because they kept threatening him and I've seen it happen before. He didn't listen to me and ended up getting put on a performance improvement plan because he took his first vacation and they didn't like that. I told him to apply for new jobs and he didn't. He lost his job. He always loved videography, video editing. So while applying for jobs, he wants to also try and do that and try to do that full time. It's been months and we haven't gotten any unemployment. And the few clients he has doesn't even make a dent in helping financially. It's basically non existent at this point. I do not want to tell my husband that he can't have his dream job, but I told him he needs to find a part time job at least in the meantime so we can get some guaranteed income because it's really stressing me out and I'm tired of having $0 in my bank account. Our debt is rising from credit cards that we can't pay them off. I don't eat as well as I used to with groceries, and that's frustrating too to eat twice a day, but sometimes only once. I keep telling him to put his work on TikTok because it's amazing and all it takes is one video and he can be his own boss. But he hasn't done anything for his own channel in months. He still hasn't even gotten a part time job, and I'm at my wits' end. The holidays are coming up, and I can't even afford to give our family any gifts, let alone ourselves. I'm working my butt off at a job I don't even love to try and get a promotion and a raise. And I'm even considering getting a part time job because I can't keep doing this anymore. I keep telling him when you want something, you do it, but I'm just not seeing the same level of want I expected. He says if he goes back to sales, then he can't edit because he won't have time. And I understand it's time consuming, but I just feel like at this point he always has an excuse for not doing something. He can't work Uber because it doesn't pay enough. He doesn't want to go part-time retail because I might as well go back to full-time at that point. Can't do full-time because then I can't do what I love. Like what the heck? If we got unemployment, I would feel better, but we haven't gotten any. At what point do I say enough is enough? Like, why is it so hard to get a part-time job if you really want this dream of yours? Why doesn't he care? I understand businesses don't happen overnight, but a part-time job won't stop you. I'm so tired, so tired. And I feel like a parent or manager and not a wife.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah,
I don't think she's the asshole. Like you're in a
right.
partnership, and unless you collectively as partners decide that you can financially and emotionally handle only one person working,
Mhm.
um, then obviously you tried it out. It's not working. Like I get it,
Yeah.
and she's not asking him to like give up on his dream. She's just asking him to go find a part-time
To
job.
get money in the meantime, yeah.
Yeah, just get some like anything at that point is beneficial. Go mow
Yeah,
lawns every week. Like
right?
whatever you need to do, just do something to be contributing financially to the relationship, and I get that.
Yeah.
It's not fair for everything to fall on her unless that's something that they had decided together,
Agreed on,
you
yeah,
know.
exactly. Not the asshole, there are many ways to monetize a genuine skill editing. One, he could look for a standard job in that field. For a lot of those types of jobs, you just have to have a good portfolio. They don't need a degree if the portfolio is there. So if he lacks formal education, it still shouldn't hold him back. Sure, making editing material editing marketing materials, interviews or other content might not be his passion, but it's not as far from his passion as retail or DoorDash. He could look for freelance contract or video editing. Maybe it's a lot of wedding video, or maybe he can crack into a field he enjoys working in as a collaborator, editing video games, sports reels, short films, etc. People in these spaces need skills like his, and it can pay for work. He could try to monetize his own original creative work. This is the hardest one to be successful with, but he's not even willing to post on his own channel, let alone find ways to get eyes on it. Then this isn't his dream. It's just his avoidance mechanism. which I think that's like the
Mhm.
key thing here. If he is saying that he's going to do that and yet he is not actively putting his shit up on Fiverr and creating a TikTok and spending his day doing that,
Mhm.
then it's just an avoidance mechanism. And
Mhm.
also, you got fired, but you're not getting unemployment. I'd be calling that damn office every day. Shit.
Mhm.
If you got fired for a reason that allows you to collect unemployment. I'm not sure where they live and what the rules are for where they live.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Not everything can be
right.
eligible.
Yeah. A part-time 24-hour job doesn't impose that much on a dream, in my opinion. A week has so much time. 24 hours is a fair sacrifice for something better than nothing to maintain an effort. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, if he is, I can understand if there are other things holding him back. Um, like physically, he can't work a job that he has to be on his feet all day long. In his sales position, he got to be seated, so he can't work a job where he has to be standing. 100%. But there are other jobs. You know what I mean? It
Right.
doesn't seem like they're making an effort. Listen, you have to do the shit jobs to make money. It's that simple. Sometimes swallowing your pride and just putting in the work is the most important thing. Yeah.
Yep.
And the best time of part-time labor is since the employees care so little of you as an employee, you can always bounce and find new 24-hour investments at little expense to yourself or to your sanity. True, part-time laborers do get a lot of opportunity to bounce around a lot because they can be easier to fill than full-time employees. I feel for OP because like that sucks to go from like what they had to only eating once a day potentially because they have no money.
Right.
That's tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope that her husband figures out how he can better monetize his shit. I think that's what the conversation needs to be. It's not a you need to give up on your dream. It's a look, unless I see you start doing stuff to actually get money, like you're not posting on your channel and you're not posting and you're not editing, right? If you're someone who isn't making the money because your content isn't getting eyes, that's different. But you're
Right.
at least putting the time in, right? That I
Right.
think is a
Yeah.
much more manageable thing, right? You're putting the
Yeah.
time in, you're on, whatever, you're on the TikTok live or you're on whatever. Um, oh, Dave,
What?
stop it. Um, you are putting the work in,
Mhm.
Dave. We've had that conversation before.
Yeah.
Um,
No. Dave,
yeah,
stop it.
yeah, you stop it, Dave. I think
Right now.
that everyone should go for their dreams. I absolutely do. But in this
Yeah.
situation where this person,
Right.
according to OP, isn't
Right.
putting in the time and work, if that is
Right.
the case and he's not
And
actually posting on his
Dave,
channel or doing any of that, then that's a different story.
Dave, here's the other
Dave's
thing.
saying he's fine. He's
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
He was just being a little
But
silly in chat.
he's being a shithead to be a shithead. But here's
Yeah.
the thing, and this is why I said the words I said very directly. Dave and I, being your girlfriend, we've had these conversations. I
Yeah.
know, like, especially initially when we do move in together, that I'm going to be the main source of income. And I'm okay with that because we can work that out together. These two people don't have that agreement, though. You know what I mean? So shut the fuck up and do you.
Yeah.
And
No. I just call it if minimum wage employers hate the word accommodations, call it negotiations for
oh,
success.
yeah.
That's fine.
Right. But also, especially if you have health needs and like, I remember, so I was doing this temp job forever ago and it was this data leak and we had to pull out like member ID numbers. And while I was listening to these phone calls, I would color because that like doing something with my hands made my brain be able to pay more attention.
Right.
And then somebody in another group who weren't allowed to color got pissed off that we were allowed to color. And so I was talking to like their lead
How
about it. And I
stupid.
said, well, I have ADD. And so for my ADD, it helps me. And she goes, hey, because you told me I have ADD, like we have to accommodate that. So you're fine. You know, and so when it's considering for things like that or physical needs or, needing a chair, special breaks or whatever, like
Right.
they are legitimately accommodations that are needed and they have to accommodate you when you have like
Yeah.
ADA needs. If it if it
Right.
comes down to that.
Yeah.
Like as a massage therapist, I only work 4-hour shifts because that's all my back can handle. And that gives me the ability to still come home and do the things that I need at home. But right now, like I, basically am making enough money to cover my bills and sometimes have a little extra, and that's it, But
There you
that's
go.
okay with me in my life right now.
Absolutely. It's just it needs to be a conversation. It sounds like OP is at the
Right.
start of having that conversation and just doesn't
Right.
know how to approach it without being an
Yeah, and it
asshole.
just doesn't feel like OP's husband wants to do anything to
Yeah.
help. Like I said, even mowing a lawn, 3 times a week would be a huge help. Like a little
Well,
extra money,
and
you know?
they could be taking care of household chores. OP doesn't get into whether or not they're doing anything around the house. It's just that they're not bringing in money, and they need that. So, but I think that that's a part of having an adult partnership is you have to be like, hey, we're
Yeah.
not making income enough so that we are not in credit card debt and we're able to eat and all that kind of stuff. So we both need to see how we can change what we're doing so that we can meet those. So many employers in my area hate the word accommodation or health concerns. They often will hire others over me. So I negotiate. I have a few challenges I need to work around to keep momentum of success. A lot of our
Yeah.
employers just like the different framing. That's
Which
true. I
is
think that
yeah.
that definitely comes from a corporate culture we're seeing now. I definitely, with like my job, when I'm talking about wanting to see better performance from the people I manage, I definitely say
Yeah.
I want to set you up for success. And I'm
Right.
usually talking about how can we change your job so that you actually
Right.
fucking do it. Um, so it is kind of like a word game. Um,
Yeah.
I think people stopped liking the word accommodations because it got very much like
Well,
HR
too many people.
lawsuit-y.
Yeah.
When they're
Yeah.
like, "If you call an accommodation and then we like, one day fail to meet it, you're gonna sue us," and so they'd rather say something
Yeah,
else.
that's fair.
Doesn't make it okay, but I'm thinking that's probably where that's coming from.
Yeah, that's very fair. And like I
Yeah,
said in there, like my personal story was like 15 years ago, so I'm sure things have
right.
changed quite a bit. But I think employers too, when you are a little bit more affluent and wordy, and that shows that you're willing to work around and try to like think outside the box to come up with the best things you need or can do to succeed in that
Right.
role. Like it's not like, hey, this is what I need, so you have to accommodate me. It's saying, hey, no, like I want this position and this is what, I think will help me do the best to succeed here, you know?
Right. Yeah. It's still shitty
Yeah,
though, it's all
for you,
still a
Dave,
word
yeah,
game and
because
it's
you have an extensive work history. You just physically can't work in that field anymore, though.
oh, fainting
Yeah,
risk is serious, yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, and that makes sense. But
Yeah.
being too that that's not something that, like, yes, the risk is always there. You just, hopefully
Right.
you get like some sort of an aura or feeling or something beforehand,
Yeah.
or you just know, hey, like every couple hours I need to be able to sit for 10 minutes, like whatever.
Yeah.
Or even just go walk
Also
around. I mean, that was my thing with sitting in when I was a scheduler. Like I had my Apple Watch set. So like every couple hours it would tell me to drink water. And so I'd like go fill up my water bottle, or like, every couple hours it would say to walk around. So even just walking around
right.
every 2 hours, like a loop around the cubicles would help. So
Yeah.
it's all about just finding what works so you can still be successful.
Right. And I do wanna highlight, Chris's chat too. Look at us with LTN in general. We work full time to help make NTL LTN. I can't even say my own channel name right at this point. What the fuck? To make LTN grow as a whole. He's working a 12-hour shift and then recording Pucked Up, and then, I'm all for wanting to pursue your dreams, but there's also a reality that bills don't pay themselves,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
They really fucking don't. I've asked them to, and they said no. So,
Yeah, I mean, I wish that
you
like
know
the little gnomes that steal my socks out of the dryer would help pay bills, but they're
Right.
that refuse. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Anyway, so that was the last one. I probably should have started with
Yeah.
that one and then ended with the "Am I an asshole for not, asking my wife if she wanted McDonald's specifically?"
Right.
Which I still
Sucks
agree,
face.
yeah, absolutely, you're the
Yeah.
asshole. Always get your wife McDonald's even if she doesn't if she's like, "Eh." Because what's the lose-lose there? There is none, because if you get it and she didn't want it, then you got an extra sandwich. Everybody's happy. Who doesn't want an extra sandwich? I'm just fucking with you.
Well, especially like, honestly, like going back to that for a second, because I had this thought too, like with Dave and I. So I was imagining us on a road trip. I'm like, even if he got me one and I decided I didn't want it, or like I couldn't eat the whole thing or something, like he'd have no problem finishing one for me. Like,
Yeah.
big
That
fucking deal.
actually very much depends on whether or not it has mayonnaise on it.
Well, right.
Well,
But
like
an
if it
egg
was a
McMuffin
McMuffin,
won't have,
But if
yeah,
Yeah.
that
oh,
specific
or something
thing.
you already ate one
Yeah.
of, and then there was
Yeah.
right,
like a half of one left
But
over.
like,
that you
yeah,
ate.
if it's
so
something that you don't like, then that's
you
fine.
want to know
Yeah,
my
yeah.
secret? Whenever I order a sandwich at a restaurant, I always order two, even if it's
Yeah.
just me.
I
Because
don't.
if it's so here's the thing:
Because we're dickheads, Chris.
if it's not enough, if one sandwich isn't enough for me, right? Well, I also come from a place where I used to work anywhere from 4 to 56 hours in a day. You know, so having an extra sandwich just in the car for later, never a bad shout.
Right. Right. But yeah, we do run into it because I do like foods that you don't like or
right.
Right.
I always brought a cooler with me, by the way. I wasn't just leaving a sandwich on the dashboard.
Fair.
Which would be nasty.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be awful. Or like there was one day, I got a couple breakfast sandwiches on the way to work. I ate one of them. I get to the office and I was a few minutes early and I was bullshitting with my boss and he's like, "Man, I wish I'd have known I was going to be this early. I would have stopped and got a sandwich." And I threw him my extra sandwich. I said, "Here." He's like, "Cool, I'll take you out to lunch."
There you go.
You know, just because I happen to have that extra sandwich in my lunchbox because I bought two.
Yeah.
I think my stance on this also comes from the fact that I don't like sharing my food. So if we go out somewhere and you don't get French fries, but then think you're going to eat some of mine, you're fucking wrong because you're not.
Oh yeah, no, that's different. If we were sitting down at a table together and we both ordered,
right?
If you ask first, I'm cool, right? Like if I got different stuff than you and you want to do tradesies or whatever.
Right.
Well, no, but like
well,
let's say
I think the first time we went out to eat, like Dave's food came out first. And I was like, "Dude, can I have a French fry? I'll give you one of mine back." Like I just wanted one French fry before my food came out, or whatever.
But like, so me and some of my friends when we go out, we'll be like, "All right, we're gonna get. I want mozzarella sticks, but I don't want to eat it all. You want this, but you don't want to eat it all.
Right.
We're gonna get both and split it." That I'm fine with. But you can't do after the food comes out. You can't be like, "Ooh, can I have some of that?" No.
Unless you both see each other eyeing it, and then you just kind of go, "Hey."
If only.
And then if the other person immediately knows what you're talking about, yeah, it's fair game at that point.
But you don't get to just assume that you can eat half of my French fries because they look so good.
Right.
No, but so one of my examples was going to be, so I know of a place that had, unfortunately they closed after COVID, but they had really good cheese balls and really good onion rings and like they hand battered and made all their own shit there and it was great, right? But like if you were going with a couple of people, everybody wanted to try a little bit of everything, so it was just easier to understand going into it, hey, we're going to get just a bunch of random sides. Oh, the fried pickles were to die for too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to get a bunch of random sides and appetizers and just, make sure you're leaving some for everybody and we'll share everything.
Right.
And that works out. But
which
if you
totally
talk about it beforehand, you know, especially at a place like that their specialty is like sides and apps. Because like nobody went there for their burgers. Their burgers were fine, but like.
But that's not what it's for.
That's not what they were good at or known for.
Yeah, I worked Ian at the cafe in Barnes and Noble. So we sold Starbucks coffee, but we weren't technically a Starbucks, which got old as well. But yeah, no, I feel that. I remember I had like a sapphire. I had a sapphire ring that I wore on my ring finger, and I had this guy come in and he's like, "So are you really engaged, or do you just wear that so people don't hit on you?" And I was like, "Well, I'm not engaged, but I'm in a relationship. Like, who asks about a ring you have on your finger?" Like,
so many people.
I was like 19. Go fuck yourself, you know?
And I just say
Look,
yeah. And I'm like,
I've-
yeah, and I've made up so many fake boyfriends. And
Oh,
then I've
yeah.
also just used like actual friends of mine. I just use their real name, and then I message them later. And I'm like, by the way, if anyone ever messaged you, be like, hey, are you dating this girl? Just say yes. And they're like,
Yeah.
okay.
look,
I'll
I
be your
have dead
boyfriend
ass
anytime
asked
you need.
people about their jewelry just because I liked it.
Right. Well,
That's
but that's a different thing.
But
That's
like, if
different
I
than being like, hey, is that ring real? Or are you just trying to keep out the
Yeah.
weirdos?
oh
It's
no
like,
no
yeah,
no
it's
Yeah.
you. You're the weirdo.
no, it was
Yeah,
so for me
exactly.
like the weirdest one is I met a gal and I saw a probably 100-year-old diamond ring on her finger, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
congratulations, a couple days ago, and she looks at me and she goes, how the fuck did you know? And then I had to walk her through the Sherlock Holmes part of my brain where it's like, okay,
Right.
so this was probably a grandmother's ring of the man you're marrying, but it predates grandmother by a few years at least, which means it's a family heirloom, which means you're going to wear it for a week or two and then put it away until the wedding and wear something else. Because that's how
Yeah.
you do that. That's how that's done.
Yeah.
Right.
And she goes, you know all that? And I said, I moonlight as a jeweler, apparently.
Right.
See,
Well,
that's different
but
though,
you
because you're
also have
playing
like
like
the
you're doing a
background
magic
with
trick.
your, you have your, magic background. You're also very like observant, and with some of the stuff you do, like you happen to know stuff about antiques and flipping stuff and all of that shit. Like,
Yeah.
to me, it makes sense why you would notice that.
Right.
Right.
Also,
But that's not
Yeen,
weird to ask somebody.
if it makes
Right.
you feel better, I
What?
also get pinned as gay all the time because of my colored hair, fruity
Yes,
voice,
people
and
get-
feminine mannerisms.
People are surprised when we're like, no, we're in a relationship together.
And
Like,
I'm not even bi. Like,
yeah,
Unlike some people.
they made me all
Right.
sorts of backwards. I have the entire wrong set of like mannerisms to be, this big and straight.
straighter than an arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, no, I love
That's awesome. That looks really nice.
wearing a
Or
ring.
that sounds
for
like
a
it
lot of
looks
people.
nice, I should say.
Nice.
I tried once to go. I wanted to do my hair like a lilac-y purple prior to my sister's wedding, but then I learned my hair does not take bleach very well. So the process of like trying to get it blonde enough. You're welcome, Stand.
Instant
Yeah.
gamer.
Ask
I
Finn
never,
Jiff
like,
about his
assumed
ex's
things.
gaydar and me.
Yeah.
Because that was the funniest
that was
fucking
so
thing.
funny.
Oh,
He
Christian?
was shocked.
Yeah.
He was shook.
Yeah. It's his birthday the other day.
Shook. It was.
Happy birthday to Christian.
But
Also,
yeah,
I'm
it's
really
so funny.
disappointed in both you and Dave Danger because
Why?
because
What did I do?
you can now add like little notes to the voice chats about what you're talking about or what's happening.
No, I
and so I
saw
added
what you
that
did.
and I said Double-D bitches
Yeah.
and Dave.
And Dave. Yeah, no, I like it.
And nobody commented on it. It's been there for 3 hours now. On a single word.
Wait, what? Where?
In Discord. In the Showtime chat, you can now add like a little like caption underneath of it. And so it's now says the channel we're in and then Double-D bitches and Dave.
Oh, okay. I see it. Yeah. I never looked at that.
If we are
Well,
going to end on time, we should probably
switch to the activity, which is already set up and ready
switch
to go.
to the activity. Yep.
Perfect.
I saw you.
Okay, what is the activity?
So today, you two are going to be playing Impeached. You are collectively the president of the United Republic of the People's Territories of States.
I want to veto
things.
So,
instead of vetoing, you get to select which of these two bills pass. Spaghetti
I would
can only
rather
be
frame
eaten
it
on
as
Wednesdays.
which one we're vetoing.
Okay, you can think of it that way.
Whichever one we don't choose is the one getting vetoed. That's how it's going to work in my brain, just so you know.
Okay. Sure. Rich people get free monocles.
Okay.
Nothing free for rich people. Spaghetti should be eaten every Wednesday, is what I agree with.
But it's only on Wednesdays.
Right. But then you still get
right,
it once
but
a week. Who cares what
yeah.
day of the week it is? Like,
I care.
You really shouldn't be eating that
oh my
much
God,
pasta
you just
more
don't
than
like
once
being
a
told
week.
what to do.
No, I just don't like it being relegated to one day, because what if I go out drinking on a Friday night and I get home and I really need some starches to soak up all the alcohol I just drank?
Then have
And I
something other than spaghetti. You can still
Then
have
have
pasta.
fettuccine
No.
bolognese instead of spaghetti bolognese.
I
Just
don't
use a different
know.
noodle.
I don't know.
Do you really think we need
Plus,
to give
you
rich
and I
people
both
monocles?
know
Monocles.
if you drank too much on a
Like,
Friday
really?
night, you know
Want
that you want
potatoes.
cheesy potatoes.
I want cheesy potatoes. I do.
Period. That's the starch you
Potatoes with
want
some
when
kind
you're
of cheese.
fucked up drunk late on a Friday night.
Yes.
Cheesy potatoes.
100%. Any form or fashion of cheesy potatoes, I'll take it.
Yeah,
Can
if
find
it's
me
a
rich
beef
boyfriend
and
easier then?
potato, like
Oh, but
cheesy
now I
beef and
feel
potato burrito,
Yeah.
or like
I feel
the cheesy
torn now
potato
for
olays from
Ying's
Taco
point.
John's hit
Yeah.
fucking hard when you're drunk.
Also, yin bean, I know what veto means. I'm framing it in my
Yeah.
mind as we're vetoing the thing I don't want.
Right.
So
But
we're
also,
vetoing,
Yin, here's my
and then whatever
argument to
left is
that.
what they pick.
If we were to sign that into law, it just means like rich people would get free monocles. Poor people
They
could
don't
still
wear 'em.
buy them, and then that wouldn't help
Sure.
you in that sense. So I
No,
still
but it
never
think
might.
that we
bought 'em
should
No,
keep
no, no.
spaghetti.
But it might, because
Oh my
Yin could
God.
also wear a monocle, so they don't think there's a gold digger situation happening.
Well, yeah, but
Mhm.
that has nothing to do with my point.
Also, I too would like a rich boyfriend if someone can find me one. I'll accept them in the mail. That's fine.
I'll accept them in the mail. I would like the money to become a rich boyfriend.
Thank you.
No, because that means I have to do shit for other people if I'm the rich one.
Makes a difference economically. It helps for me. Oh my God, it's my value doesn't need to be money. It just dreams. That's fair. I mean, fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that. All right, I guess we have to go with voting with approving spaghetti only on Wednesdays, because we should eat the rich, not give them more free shit.
You should say we should eat the rich.
Yes. Yes, I did. And I stand by it.
I didn't know that we
wholeheartedly.
were going for cannibalism, but
Oh, no,
Which
it's a
of
whole
these
thing.
just gonna
people's
dance
question
the
do you
right.
want to
Oh, I
answer?
thought you said. I totally thought that said gotta dance the right tuna, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Oh, we have to
Which
pick
one?
on somebody?
Yes.
Oh,
Um,
dude with the unibrow nose
I think
looking
it's a big
thing,
nose.
top left.
Are there
Top
any
left.
other food restrictions in the pipeline?
Food restrictions.
These are your options.
We're
Now, the
investigating all
different things you
foods. I
choose
don't
will
know.
affect money, happiness, or the health of the planet.
We're investigating all foods?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's good all the way around. Who now?
I changed my desktop background and
Alright.
it's yelling at me. Give me a second.
Girl in the
I
back right.
regret everything.
Promise my homemade spaghetti recipe is rich. We can eat it. There you go.
I love it.
Oh, I love
I love
that.
spaghetti, man.
What about tortellini? Can we still eat it throughout the week?
Of course.
Of
Yes.
course, yeah.
Yeah, like we're just saying on Wednesdays we eat spaghetti. It's like on
Yeah.
Wednesdays we wear pink.
It's
It's not
Taco
that hard.
Tuesday, Spaghetti Wednesday. It just
Right.
that's
Yeah.
how it is.
Yeah.
Back left.
Yeah.
Don't you think this will have a large impact on Italian restaurants?
No. Like,
You know it will. If they can only eat spaghetti on. Although, how
yeah,
many
but
Italian restaurants are
restaurants
really
sell
just straight
other
up serving
things.
spaghetti?
Yeah. No,
Nope.
it won't have an
Yeah.
impact. At least not a negative one. Like, shut the fuck up. Go
Ooh,
away.
that does actually sound really good. Brown the meat, set in a
I
pot
like
of
it.
sauce, and bake it for 2 hours. I don't know.
This one.
Sure.
Sure.
But,
But
sir,
But sir,
spaghetti.
it's ma'am, first off. But yes,
Yes.
spaghetti.
Okay.
Hey, do we have to answer
Woo, blue
everybody's
guy.
questions?
Yeah. How many of these do we have to fucking answer?
until you're
Why
done.
does the band take place on Wednesday?
Eeny, meeny,
I
miny,
don't like
mo, or I
Wednesdays.
don't like
But
Wednesday.
no,
I don't like Wednesdays. Spaghetti makes it better.
but it's that you can only eat it on Wednesdays, so it's not a ban.
Yes, but well, it's a ban for every other day of the week.
Yeah, but so his question doesn't make sense.
Right.
It's phrased wrong. I'm pretty sure that's a
Yeah.
Google Translate thing. Probably.
Yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Sure.
Other forms of pasta deemed safe during Wednesday spaghetti. Cars
So
can
then
only go
it
fast.
is that you can't eat it on Wednesdays.
Everyone can only see in grayscale.
Right.
Cars can only go fast. That's the final answer. That's what we're approving. I don't even need to think about it. First of all, singing
Okay.
grayscale, no.
Everybody's going to
Wait,
die.
we should have waited for Danger to answer. I was giving my 2 cents.
Well, no, you told me there is no arguing about it, so I wasn't going to
And
answer
then Danger
shit.
closed her mouth. Fast.
I didn't realize
What?
it was you actually signing it.
Yes.
And also, I wasn't being serious. All right, answer blue
Oh,
guy.
Sure. I wasn't going to fucking argue with you.
What if I go
What if
so
I go
fast
so
I start to
fast?
fly?
Then you fly, John. Then you
Or
fly.
you can't fly, John.
No.
You
then
can't
you
fly, John. Yeah.
Then you fly, John?
Well,
Then you
yeah,
fly,
I
John.
suppose if you jump off a jump. Yeah,
Yeah.
words, man.
We could make the Giver live action with grayscale. Hmm.
We'll call them 1, 2, 3, 4.
2.
Is Red Bull trying to come up with a new sport?
Yes.
Plead the fifth.
Plead the
We're
fifth.
working on big things. Plead the fifth. Oh, there went money and
We should have
happiness.
done working on big things. All right, Danger, pick a number. 1 through 4.
4.
What will we do with existing cars that can't go fast enough? I recommend Lamborghinis, or they get impounded.
Oh,
They
we
get
shouldn't have picked this
impounded.
question. Neither one of these are good. Yeah, they get impounded. 1.
What about strollers? Will they need speed boosters installed? No one is exempt or unsure.
I mean, it should just be no. Strollers aren't cars. So I guess unsure.
Correct. Yeah.
Strollers become rockets.
That made the planet sad and the people sad, apparently.
Well,
Apparently the
Yeah,
planet
fuck
wants
that.
rocket strollers.
yeah.
Of course the people want rocket strollers. That's
Right.
phenomenal.
3.
That's this dude. Were you inspired to write this order based on The Fast and the Furious? Obviously. Or,
I love Vin Diesel.
I love Vin Diesel.
I'd fuck Vin Diesel.
Family.
Uh,
Vin Diesel,
what do you think?
obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously.
Toddlers may have to adhere to new order. God damn it. All right. Global warming will now be referred to as extra summer, or French fries will now be called freedom fries. Oh God,
God.
damn! I don't like.
Extra
I'd
summer.
host D&D for Vin Diesel.
Sure.
Nice. Extra summer.
Yeah.
Sure. I like that better than freedom fries.
Me too.
Are you just signing flames? Nice.
Okay.
I love freedom fries. I think of the meme material. That's fair. It's a spicy signature. All right, 1.
It's a spicy
It's a
meatball.
spicy signature.
It's a spicy
I think 1 is this
meatball.
one. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Summer, I hardly knew her. Get to know her better. Get out Zoidberg.
Get out, Zoidberg. Red, white, and blue potatoes with ranch sauce. Freedom fries. There you go.
Oh.
Somehow that brought the world down by telling Zoidberg to get out.
Well, yeah, he eats all the
Who
trash.
cares?
Oh.
Yeah, but he just doesn't.
4.
But, sir, our northern states will melt and disappear. Send rowboats to retrieve them? Yes, they will.
That has nothing to do with us.
Send rowboats to retrieve us. I live in the northern states.
Yeah. Come on down. with the
Minus
row, row
10
your boat.
money, but plus 5 happiness.
Damn, we've lost a lot
By
of
the
money.
way, guys, I would cut back on government spending.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. I'm just fucking picking answers.
Right.
Like,
Two, sure.
honestly, we don't have a ton of time anyway. So if the world
When can
burns,
we
the
expect
world
extra summer to take full effect?
burns.
We have our
Once
best
my
people on the
Speedo
job.
is on, Lord no.
We have our best people on the job.
People on the job.
No
the
Speedos
best.
allowed. No
Yeah,
Speedos
no.
allowed. We'll just increase the debt ceiling again. Ugh.
God,
If
no.
only.
No, we'll just let the
Anybody
extra
else
summer
miss the
burn the
gold
world.
standard? Does anybody else here know what the gold standard was?
Let's do number 3. Let's end this hellhole.
What about the
What about the
Canadians? Won't their
Canadians?
igloos smelt?
They'll build rock igloos because I
Rock
can build them
igloos.
better.
Yeah.
Igloos will cost us money. Rock igloo. Rock glue.
Well, it made people
Rig
happy.
glue?
Rigloo.
Remy Hush.
I like Rigloo.
Yeah.
It sounds like an off-brand gum. This is how it feels to chew Rigloo gum.
No, number 4.
Yeah.
I'm just.
How long will extra summer last? Forever, until the scientists science better.
Until the
Yeah.
scientists science better.
Make the science better. Yeah.
Canadians moves into brick houses. What next? Radio.
That's funny.
The sky no longer exists. Extra screening on Canadians to prevent syrup smuggling.
Syrup smuggling is a serious issue, and you shouldn't take it lightly.
Right, but I like their maple syrup. I don't care if they smuggle it here.
Yeah, but the sky no longer existing is more expensive.
Fair. Well, so would screening be potentially.
No, make the Canadians pay for it.
I'm not going to discuss the syrup I smuggle.
Did you just say make the Canadians pay for it?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That is a reference that I am probably one of 4 people who understood.
Yeah.
I don't know if our reference is the same.
Yeah, probably not if it's what I'm thinking of. Sure, syrup
I'm thinking
smuggling.
about a very
Why
recent wall
Yeah,
that was to be built.
Then
Yes.
that's
Someone
where
else
my
knew
brain
before.
went.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, we're thinking of the same thing. I don't know what is this supposed to be a bottle of syrup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually decent.
Oh, that's
It's a
the
little
moonshine
loopy-loop
handle.
hole. Moonshine handle.
Okay. That's the
Loopy-loop.
slowest signature I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a 94-year-old
I'm doing it with
sign
a
some documents.
mouse on 3200 DPI, okay?
Okay. Let's not argue. Let's just pick number
We're
3.
not arguing. I thought that was 3. That's my bad. The NSA leaked
Dave forgot how to
information about
count.
potential syrup being smuggled over the border in hockey pucks. Is this true?
Speaking of hockey, we
Right?
also have a hockey podcast.
We sure do.
That we start recording today. Is this true?
I
George,
want to say
that's
launch
fake
an
news.
FBI
No, that's too
investigation
much
because
money.
it's too much money, but I guess we're gonna have to go fake news if we're already making Canada pay for it. Might as well commit to the bit, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, you got some money.
Woohoo! Four?
How will you address the violent response of the syrup cartel? National Pancake Day? I'm not reading that one out loud.
No,
We're super not reading that one
National
out loud.
Pancake Day.
National Pancake Day it is.
Yeah, that's
I forgot that
gonna be
existed.
the answer.
Yep. I would bet making Canada pay for it is an option. Yeah, you type that literally as it was an option. You must have like intuition or something. 2. That's so
The Canadians have threatened to send moose after us if implemented. How will you address border security? Moose are not a threat. Fuck too.
funny. Police bears.
Police bears.
That is just
I just want to see a bear in a police uniform.
And they all sound like
Moose
Pat
100%
Warburton.
are a threat.
Police bears, and they all sound like
Moose-
Pat Warburton.
Moose
Sure, I
are
don't
not
know
a
who that
threat is the cheaper option, but police bears is the funnier option.
Yeah, no, police bears I'm 1,000% for because moose are a threat. Like, don't ever, even jokingly pretend that moose are not a threat. They will fuck you up.
Oh my god, Ying, that is amazing.
Lots of police already are bears. I mean, you're probably
Love
not
that.
wrong.
Probably not wrong.
I know several police officers that
That
would
one.
probably agree with that.
Yeah.
They are supervillains. They're the Canadian supervillain.
Click it.
4.
How will our
Some of
maple
them.
trees handle the increased demand? Motivational speeches or mandatory tree roids?
No,
Motivational
motivational
speeches.
speeches.
I'm not
Okay.
roiding out trees.
No, that sounds awful.
All right, Lady in the Front.
1.
No, 1,
Yeah.
perfect.
If Canadians are so nice, how can we identify the smugglers?
They've been dealt with.
Yeah?
They've been dealt with. Yeah.
Okay. President Ashir's syrup smuggling ring has been dealt with.
See, there we go.
Everyone can only see in grayscale. My hips don't lie.
My hips have
How
never
is that a
lied.
law?
Not once.
Like,
I'm on tonight, and my hips don't lie. And I'm starting to feel it's right.
okay, Shakira. I don't care.
We absolutely have to approve my hips don't lie. There's no way.
My hips do lie all the time when they think they can dance.
See, Chris already knows what it is. He was typing Shakira before I could even say it.
I mean, I did also say, okay, Shakira.
Yeah. The next line in the song, though, is just her
Yeah,
name,
I know. I just couldn't think of that.
Shakira.
Okay.
I think about that song. That song might be my Roman Empire. Wow, so few questions. Oh, they take a little bit to populate?
Yeah.
4.
Sir, my thighs have been giving me a funny look. Should I be nervous?
No. No, thighs are not hips. I don't know if you know this. They're 2 different parts of the body.
The planet liked that, apparently.
1.
Yes.
Can you
please.
address the rumors of your own personal love affair with hips? Start sobbing
Start
or deny?
sobbing.
Oh. Danger, what do you think?
Deny. My personal love affair with hips don't have anything to do with anybody else. Go fuck yourself.
There you
dude.
go.
All of the
We'll go
above.
Bill
he
Clinton
says.
route.
Deny. Everyone disliked that. Just like with Bill Clinton.
Well, I'm not gonna cry. Why would it? Like, even if I admitted it, like, I wouldn't sob about it.
Also, what's
fucking
wrong with a
cares?
personal love affair with hips?
Right?
I mean, I guess it depends on whose hips.
Mine, the ones that aren't lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can be in love with my own hips.
All
Number
right.
2.
Yeah. Just start picking questions. I don't care who you click on.
We really don't
Okay.
care. Just pick
Should
them.
individuals with bigger hips be trusted less? Laugh at reporter,
Laugh at
or
reporter.
obviously?
Laugh at reporter.
Laugh at reporter. People with bigger hips should be trusted more because there's
How
less
can we
to
be
lie
sure
about.
you even have hips? I have beautiful
Pull down.
curves
I
or
have
pull
beautiful
down pants.
curves.
I have beautiful
We're not
curves.
pants. We're not pantsing
No,
ourselves.
we're not.
In front
Yeah,
of the
we're
nation's
not
media.
showing.
But sir, I have it on record that your hips do in fact lie. I want your source.
You're fake news. You're fake news.
You're fake news.
President
Be gone
assures
with
the
you.
public of zero tie to hips. GIF is now pronounced GIF.
Veto.
Yeah, rich people are getting free monocles.
I said eat the rich
really?
earlier, but now we're giving out free monocles.
Let me find it.
GIF under no circumstances should be pronounced GIF. That's not how the alphabet works.
I agree. Are there not bigger problems to address as president? No, this is pressing.
This is pressing.
This is pressing. We got you, Ian.
Is there money for the
Yeah.
monocles? Where is the money for the monocles coming from? The poor, of course, or my pocket?
My pocket. Let's lie to him.
Yeah, clearly. I was
No.
gonna say we're clearly gonna just tax the poor.
With
Yeah.
your proposed budget for monocles, we could cure global hunger. But monocles, our nation
Our
comes
nation
first.
comes first. Our nation comes first.
Sure, I hate this entire line.
Are you aware that a
We're
monocle is
we're
a symbol of
forced.
oppression? Are you aware?
Are you
you're
aware
dumb
that you're
Or
dumb?
hardly
Yeah.
oppression?
No, are you aware that you're dumb?
Yeah, are you aware you're dumb? That's funny.
Dude, your approval is through the roof.
Yeah.
But our
Would you
money
agree
is in
giving the rich
shitter.
monocles is a large misuse of money? Obviously. Or it fits our obviously.
It fits our
Obvi.
budget. Yeah, like sure. Doesn't fucking change the fact that I'm going to do it.
President to
Yeah.
personally
They're
front
not
monocle
fake.
initiative. Tomatoes must go in fruit
No.
salad.
Baseball
shall
should be placed with
tasers.
Yes.
100%. I'm
I
going
don't
in with
care what
that.
you say, D.
Yeah.
I get to fix that one.
Lightning
I
bolt.
would have gone all in with you anyway.
Right?
Baseball should
Isn't
be
this a
played with-
little cruel?
Baseball is cruel. Oh, people don't
Will the
like that.
players be tasered for stealing bases?
When they get caught.
I'm just going to go with whoever
Yeah.
answers first. We're going to speed round this. Will the ball also be a taser?
Your face will
Your
be
face will
tasered.
be a taser.
Do fans get tasered too?
Only the way.
Every
fans.
inning.
Only the
Every
away
Oh, the
fans.
away fans is better. Yeah, I like that better. Sorry.
What voltage will the tasers be set to? We pick while blindfolded or deadly?
We pick while blindfolded. Yeah, pick blind.
Amazing.
Hospitals overwhelmed after tasers set to overcharge. French
That's so
fries or
fucking
freedom
No.
fries. Pizza must be
I
made with
would rather
pineapple.
go. Yeah.
Pizza with pineapple.
I mean, yeah.
I just
disagree
ate
with
pizza
every
with pineapple.
No. I like pizza with pineapple. I'm just saying I disagree with every pizza having pineapple
Oh yeah, but
You're
because
probably
there are
right.
some that shouldn't. But I would rather have that than the fucking thing.
what about other
Huh.
tropical
You're a
fruit like
monster.
kiwi and
Try.
papaya?
No, you're a monster.
Okay.
Are we going to get pizza for lunch?
Only,
Only
if you juggle for entertainment.
Fuck yeah. Do you know Iceland once threatened to ban pineapple on pizza?
Not a real
Not
country.
a real country. Jinx.
What are your thoughts on the nationwide pineapple protests?
They'll get tired soon.
Yeah, they'll get tired soon.
We love you, Mr.
I
President.
love-
I like
pineapple
kiwi with
pizza.
like fruit pizza.
And I love pineapples,
Ah.
hipster reporter, or not now, Steve.
And
Not
I love
now,
pineapples.
Steve.
Hipster. Oh,
Not now,
okay.
Steve.
Shh. Not now.
Oh, you
Steve.
didn't like
Confirmed. Monster Seat Pizza.
that.
GIF is GIF, or shoes must be Velcro.
No, shoes must be Velcro.
Shoes must be Velcro. Yeah.
Can finally put an end to the your shoelace is loose.
I've never had kiwi on pizza, but I should try it.
What if my
You
shoes
get
already
promoted.
have Velcro? Congrats,
Promotion.
hipster, or you get promoted. Promoted?
Promoted. You did a great job. Congratulations.
Do you miss the 80s? Greatest time ever. Better than all your times. 80 what?
Better than all your times.
Yeah, better than all your times.
Diamond 80s.
Can I have long
baby.
knuckle hairs that's... I have long knuckle hairs that stick in Velcro. Can I get a pass?
Someone get this man a razor.
Someone get this man a razor. Yeah.
If Velcro is the name of a company, are shoes a company too? Lies, all lies. Or
You're the
you're
name
You're the
of
name
the
of a company.
Yeah, you're the name of the company.
How old
up,
are
Steve.
you?
Count on fingers.
Count on
Count
fingers.
on
is pretty
fingers.
great.
1, 2, 3. That's just funny.
President
Yeah.
confused about their age.
And
Sky no
stupid
longer
questions.
exists. Orange is the new national
Orange can
color.
be the new national color.
Orange is the
yeah.
new national color. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now we can't call them freedom fries because orange fries is off-putting. Oh, although I do love a good nacho cheese, and I guess that is kind of orangey.
Or sweet potato.
How will this affect oranges? Oranges? Or they're the best?
They're the best.
They're the best.
They're the best.
Will red and yellow receive any special recognition? Who?
Who?
Red and yellow. Evil rotten
Red and yellow are
liars.
evil rotten liars. Red and
Evil
yellow are
rotten
evil
liars.
rotten liars. Yeah.
That gave
Will
us
there
money
be
for
an
some
orange
reason.
holiday every Thursday? Only
Every
in our hearts.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
What will you do with all the apples? Send
Send
them
them
to
to
Canada?
Canada.
You keep... Okay.
Send them to Canada. Keep them
What
keep
shade
them
of
with-
orange?
Carrot.
face.
Carrot. Because I know who they're talking about, and I refuse
That's
to say that.
fucking
Oranges, your new best
hilarious.
friend. Were they talking about President Cheeto?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Pop-Tarts are now
Pop-Tarts are
ravioli.
now-
Pop-Tarts are
Oh my
ravioli.
god, that hurts my brain. All
All
sandals to be
sandals.
inspected for socks. I agree with
Yep.
that. Yes.
All sandals.
Sandals.
I've made a pineapple and kiwi pizza with my aunt. We were daring enough to squeeze some dragon fruit and lemon for the dough. Interesting.
It does sound good though.
That sounds like a lot of work, though. I'm gonna be honest. But I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
I should have that patience. That probably took you a while to make the
What?
dough. If you're like incorporating dragon fruit and lemon into it.
One
The last
question.
time I made a pizza dough, it took 4 fucking hours.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Because you have to give it time to raise.
Yeah. Oh.
Who will be conducting the inspections?
Puppies!
Puppies.
Puppies!
My brother has gross toe fungus. Can we keep his socks on?
Remove the toes. Off with his head.
My friends are sock
My
puppets. Can they wear sandals?
You have no friends.
What can we do if our sandals are infected with socks?
A thorough cleaning.
It's too late for you. No. It's too. Oh.
What about Crocs?
What about them?
Just as fashionable.
Hold sandal
Local
cleaning
community
seminar.
center holds sandal cleaning seminar.
No!
Pupper and
I
Doggo
refuse.
now classified as terrorists? That's amazing. Are we going with GIF is
No.
now pronounced GIF? GIF is now pronounced GIF?
Yes. My pupper
All right.
and doggos refuse for me to be classified as a terrorist. Terrifying terrorist.
I mean, we furries, I guess we're terrorists now. True shit. True
Mhm.
shit.
Dumbass. You're dumb.
That's so fucking funny.
What is the
not to
future
danger,
of the
but to
portable
me.
network graphic image?
Act like you
Act
understand.
like
the
you
question.
understand the question.
PNG.
Yeah, I understand,
Yeah,
but
I
act like
don't
you understand
care,
the question.
My computer is Y2K compliant. Am I affected by this change?
Y2K was so last
Huh?
year.
Yeah.
You monster!
You monster. Yes.
Yes. But yes in
Purple,
purple.
yes.
Yeah, yes in purple. If we can afford $1,000 fursuits, we can indeed afford some $10 mail pipe.
Mouth breather.
Yeah,
right.
that one.
During your campaign, you promised to fight for the rights of all gifts. What happened?
Just the
Too many
Z's.
words.
Just
Z's?
fell
Okay.
asleep.
Pulling a, what's his name?
Question about future formats
yeah.
clearly
Mitch
baffles
McConnell.
president.
Oh my god.
Tomatoes must go in fruit salad.
I'm not always a big tomato person.
I mean, we could have gone with this guy no longer exists. But this is just going to have some crazy ass questions.
What
Also,
do you have
look
against
how good
vegetables?
the world is.
Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Yeah, they like us now.
I know.
Or they're
We're funny.
the world is flourishing.
I thought tomatoes
Tomatoes
were
are
You're a
vegetables.
vegetable. Not in
You're a
this
vegetable.
country.
Not in this country. That's
Are you
great.
trying to settle the tomato fruit vegetable debate?
Nail in the coffin.
Nail. Yeah. I like the do you have ears
If
though.
tomatoes are fruit,
Yeah.
can they still go on pizza?
Do you put blueberries on pizza?
Yeah, do
Because
you?
we already said yes to pineapple. So
We did.
the
We
second one
can't
is a
go
moot
against
point.
what we
What
said.
is fruit
There's a-
salad?
Meet me outside.
How do you breathe?
Settled. Tomatoes are in highest fruit status.
Milk must be served in bags. What are you, from Canada? New funding available
Yeah.
for search and rescue missions for lost socks. New funding. I don't know where we got it, but
shame.
Danger was just talking about some socks that she was missing.
Well, yeah, the gremlins steal them. Or the gnomes.
Yeah.
Have we researched why the socks are disappearing?
No more questions, please. Fucking gremlins!
Shouldn't we be searching for more important things like missing people? I'm not missing any people.
I'm not missing any
I'm
people.
not missing any people.
I hate socks.
No one asked you, Megan.
Fuck that bitch. Will I
Right?
have to hop on one foot until my sock is found?
Yes. Only because you asked the fucking question, dipshit.
Yep.
Thank you. I've known many friends affected by this terrible issue.
You're
very
welcome.
welcome.
All right, let's do like 2 more questions and then go on. Ew, no,
Ooh.
Pop-Tarts or ravioli?
Pop-Tarts or ravioli. Yeah, I have to go with that.
I had Pop-Tarts earlier.
I want a Pop-Tart.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Are you having one right now?
That's so helpful.
I'm
from all the
having
way
one
over
right
there.
now. What about
pierogies?
Kings among stuffed food.
Yeah, kings among stuffed food.
What do you make of the outrage in the Italian communities?
Deport them to Canada.
Deport them to Canada. Yeah.
By the way, if you keep doing that, the game will end, which is great. How will this affect
Perfect.
toaster strudels?
They're losers and liars.
Still delicious. No, I love toaster strudels.
I'm trying to end the fucking game.
Yeah, but we said we'd do one more question after this.
Are my
Have you
cultural
consulted with Chef Boyardee yet?
There is no President Boyardee.
Yeah. Oh, we're best friends the best. I just saw that.
Do I eat them for breakfast or dinner?
Special
Always.
occasions. Always.
Toastal strudels are lying about being Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
Jesus.
The milk must be served in bags.
God. Yeah, I guess.
Bags. Bag milk. Either way,
No.
I can't drink it. So.
Just. Right.
Bags milk still help our bones grow strong.
Plastic milk grows
the strongest bones. Yeah. Guess what? It's still fucking milk. It doesn't matter what the receptacle is.
You go home in a bag.
What if
you go home in a bag? Yeah. Threaten violence always.
Always.
How exactly are we supposed to get the milk out of the bag?
Put it in jugs.
Put it in jugs. I got some jugs for you. What do the other countries make fun of us?
Have you heard of nuclear weapons?
Have you heard of nuclear weapons? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking funny. Milk is cereal sauce. Figure it out.
Yeah. Milk is cereal sauce. That's now all it is. All right.
Milk improves
that was
density.
fun.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna get you guys a
hot
fail
dogs are
condition.
sandwiches. Why?
Because that's the only way to end the game.
Okay. Well, then I'm just still gonna go on to our femme fatale while Dave does that, and he can continue to do it on screen if you'd like. Normally we don't care, but we are recording Pucked Up tonight, which is why we're kind of in a little bit of a hurry to end. So, for our femme fatale for this week, we, and by we, I mean I, but Dee approved it, picked Selena Gomez. So she was born July 22nd, 1992, because she's just a baby, in Grand Prairie, Texas. She has been active in, what hasn't she done, really? But she became active in 2002, back when she was on Barney and Friends was actually like her first show, which we'll talk about. So 2002 to 2004, she was on Barney and Friends, and then she, from 2007 to 2012, became one of the lead for Wizards of Waverly Place, which is definitely where I first saw her. She's also the founder, chairwoman, and owner of a makeup company called Rare Beauty.
Which I've heard a lot of good things about, actually.
Yes, I have too. I keep wanting to try it. But then every time I go to actually buy something, I forget about it. So I need to remember. But she's also broke 16 world records from Guinness World Records.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Which I definitely want to look into that, because that's a lot. And I'm curious to know what she's broken. I agree with that, Ian. She's also the most followed woman on Instagram with over 420 million followers. One of the most followed people on Twitter, or X as it's now called, or whatever.
Whatever.
She is included in Time's annual list of 100 most influential people in the world in 2020, and was named Time's Woman of the Year in 2017. Just the way that was worded.
Okay.
She also starred in, and then, she I think starred in the movie piece of it, but produced the Netflix adaptation, of 13 Reasons Why, which was one of the first and biggest things that she's produced, and that just caught me because I didn't know that she produced it.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
She, at age 16, signed her first records deal with Hollywood Records. She embarked on her first solo worldwide concert tour, the Stars Dance Tour, in August of 2013. 17 did also name her the most powerful girl under 21 in 2014. She then was on tour again, and she's had many tours back and forth, but I kind of just pulled out this info because during her revival tour in May of 2016, she started that tour, but in August, she ended the tour actually due to her anxiety, panic attacks, and depression largely come on. And that's when she really came out with her lupus diagnosis.
Okay.
Following the cancellation of that tour, she rechecked into a rehab to focus on her mental health and was noticeably absent from social media. But I know, a lot of people really were impressed. Like I remember, like, my heart went out to her when she was going through that, but it was really impressive, in my opinion, for her, someone being so young in particular, to be so open about what was going on and talking about it. I mean, she's definitely brought a lot of information and stuff forward about lupus, and more people are definitely interested in it. Early in her career, she did cite Bruno Mars as a huge influence for his, quote, style of music, his style in general, the way he performs, and the way he carries himself. She also cited Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Beyonce, Rihanna, and Taylor Swift as influences. As many of us know, or as many of us probably know, she's really good friends with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She did say her debut solo album, Stars Dance, in 2013, was prominently influenced by Spears, Swift, and EDM producer Skillerix. I can't say that right now. Thank you. Her second album, it's just my brain doesn't. Revival was mainly inspired by Aguilera's album Stripped, as well as Janet Jackson and Britney Spears. In April of 2020, she became an owner and investor in the ice cream brand Serendipity, which I didn't know. And then in September is when she, of 2020, is when she launched her makeup line. She also does a lot of cooking. She's got like a cooking show. I know you can watch a lot of the short stuff on YouTube and stuff, but she'll do and have celebrity like guest chefs, usually on FaceTime. I think it's something she started doing during the pandemic and like while everybody was stuck at home.
Quarantined, yeah.
But she's so funny. And I think she even has a line of cookware and stuff now too. She's also a philanthropist, working with several charity organizations to help raise awareness about mental health, gender, racial, LGBTQ plus equality, and works often with children, women, and those in need. She has been a UNICEF ambassador since 2009, and for many years was the youngest UNICEF ambassador.
Yeah.
She launched her mission-focused brand Rare Beauty in 2020, which we talked about. She also founded the Rare Impact Fund with a portion of the beauty sales that go towards her goal of raising a US $100 million by 2030 to expand mental health services and education for young people around the world, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
And I had pulled up earlier her website, which is just selenagomez.com. I lost it somehow, but she's got some really cute merch. My favorite is this lace little crop top that just says high maintenance on it.
That's cute.
Very well might need to buy.
Yeah.
But she's somebody, she's a little younger than I am. But I think she's just adorable, and she's a good singer and dancer, and is fine with like making fun of herself, and it seems very down to earth. But definitely is using her fame in a lot of the really great ways to raise
Yeah.
awareness about things that have definitely affected her, because I know she's talked about you don't always necessarily believe that or understand how much fame changes like your ability to be a normal person. So
Yeah, very
for
true.
lack of better words. But yeah, she's got some cute stuff, and you can buy her makeup line and stuff on her website as well. So
Yeah.
but
I like
knowing
her.
that buying it that way, that some of that money goes through the other foundations and is used is awesome.
Yeah.
She also sells all of her stuff on vinyl on her website.
Oh,
It's pretty cool.
okay.
For those of us old school people. But
It's
sorry
making
to
a comeback.
fly through that. It really is. There's nothing like listening to music on vinyl, though.
I haven't done it in
And I
forever.
mean, I guess
I don't
it's
own it,
like that's
so
yeah. I don't have like a good working one that I know
yeah.
of right now. But
My
there's a
parents have
ton of
one, but
vinyl
I
records
haven't
in the
listened to
garage.
like any of their old vinyls in forever
Yeah.
because it's just not. I mean, I'm not over there to listen to vinyls. If I'm over there, it's for
Right.
something else, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, we have a ton of records up in the garage, and like one of my favorite ones is in my storage unit. But I've like Nat King Cole and some
Oh,
Frank
nice.
Sinatra on vinyl, and like there's nothing like it, or like good old blues music and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So good. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, so Selena was our femme fatale for this week.
yay.
If you guys ever have anybody that you recommend, shoot us a message. Let us know who
Yeah,
they are,
join our
why
Discord. Let us know.
yeah. Dave, can you or D to put that link in the
Yeah,
chat for us?
if I can remember what it is.
I think if we just do
Yeah,
socials,
I
it
think it's
pops up.
socials.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
There we go.
But yeah, sorry again to run away, but we just still have to record the podcast. So it's the first one of this hockey season. I
Woo!
put a little note about it earlier. But for those of you that don't know, our hockey podcast is called Pucked Up. It's Chris, D, and I, three lifelong hockey fans that kind of get together usually every week to talk about the happenings in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
And all that, and generally like poke fun at each other, swear a lot, drink, and have a good time. So
Pretty
that one's
much.
not
That
shown
nailed it.
live, but it is available on all podcast forums. And then on our
Yes.
YouTube channel, we do put the video out on there too, if you'd like to look at our beautiful faces. And
Yeah.
Chris is there too. So
His all right face. Yeah.
yeah.
Hope you're still here,
I
Chris.
mean,
I heard
it's
that.
mediocre. He probably is just like perking an ear up. I
Just
know
for
he
like,
said he
fuck
was
you guys.
blasting
I'm
some
out.
Slipknot, right?
Yeah.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. But anywho, thank you so much for hanging out with us for the show today. We will not be here next week as Dee
No.
is on vacation, but we will be here again the following week. So the 17th.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Math is hard.
math is hard and
Yeah.
it's late and I'm starving. So on that note, always remember the world is your potato, and we love you all. Have a good one. Bye.